Survivor Speaks is the name at the end of the day. People love me or hate me, I don't care either way. Breast cancer busted through like a thief in the night. A cancer's ass was knocked out before the end of the fight. A champion coming through, knocking everything out. It's just hard if you see, I do nothing for clout. Just like cancer, I'll let nothing take me out. So be respectful when you step foot inside of my house. So prepare to have your ass escorted on out. So hop up out the bushes, wipe your feet, take a seat, and get comfortable and chill with your girl. Survivor Speaks, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Who, what? I'm Survivor Speak. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time that I go live. Yeah, it's Survivor Speaks and it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Peace, peace, peace. This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go. What's up? It is your girl Survivor Speaks back with a live stream. I'm your favorite breast cancer survivor. Hello out there, Emily Stokes. I see you came back in the building. Can you drop a 1 down in the chat if you can hear me? Don't know what was going on with the other system. I just want to make sure that you can hear before I continue on. If you can hear me, Emily, please drop a 1 in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on with my sound. If not, can you hear me? I'm getting a sound. Okay, I got you, Emily. So you can hear me. Thank you so much for hopping back in and working with me. I am trying to move to another system, but every time I do, thank you so much. There's always so many issues with it. So I just didn't want to go ahead and start the show. And you not be able to hear me. So I had to jump back to my old system. I guess it is true what they say. FFS, what's going on? I see you in the building. So I'm just here for a quick live because I saw this story the other day and it kind of bothered me because I'm like, I want to know what is going on in Detroit. What is going on up in Detroit? So a Detroit mother is speaking out after the devastating loss of her 2 children who passed of apparent hypothermia in a casino parking garage. The heartbreaking tragedy raises serious questions about what happened that night. So how could this have been prevented? Watch the full story and hear her emotional words straight from the grieving mother's mouth. So if you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications so you never miss our live streams or videos. And if you're watching live, jump into the chat. We want to hear your thoughts and questions throughout the show. So let's get into it. Hold on a minute. Let me just check out something really quick. All right. So no problems there. No problems there. I'm just not understanding what's going on, but all right. So I'm going to bring on the clip. Let me see who else is in the house. FFS, I am overjoyed to see you here tonight. Um, and I'm glad it's not my Macintosh. It wasn't a Macintosh. Come on, FFS, don't do that. What happened before was I was having issues with I was using a different platform that I really want to use. It's just that I can't get the sound to do what it's supposed to do. Like when it, came to me, I think you guys were able to hear from the beginning before. We got FFS in the building. We got Emily Stokes up in the building. I know that Child was here before. Maybe she'll come back. And so I'm going to just bring up the check on Child Diggy Diggo. We're not Child Diggy Diggo, Child Diggy Diggo, Child Diggy. I'm just so glad to be doing a live with you guys. I have been out the last couple of nights just listening from the bushes because I was out driving. And so I'm here tonight because this story is just, I just want to know what is going on in Detroit. So I'm just going to bring up the first clip and you will listen to what she's saying. Please comment down in the comments because I don't want to take my thinking somewhere else, but if you see the thumbnail, the mother of the children is on the, I think it was the right with the pink coat on. She may be on the left, and the woman with the black coat, shirt or hood on, is her mother. So it's about, I don't know. I think between the two news reports that I looked at this, it was something is conflicting. So I'm gonna watch this with you guys again, and then we're gonna watch. So I uploaded the first video, and then the other one I'm just gonna just share it with straight from the channel, the other news channel, and we're going to hear the mother two times, and then we're gonna just talk about it just briefly. But this is the first one. Let me bring her on and listen to what she has to say.
9-year-old mother of the two kids that likely froze to death Monday in the parking structure of the Hollywood casino.
Maybe I asked the wrong people for help, but that was the only thing I did wrong.
Tatiana, remembering how many times she reached out for a place to live, she asked the father of the two kids that died.
He had an excuse every time. Either he's working, they can't come where he living. He lived with a female, and the parents and them don't want kids there or something.
She also asked the city of Detroit for help.
I reached out in November. I reached out before that. I've been on the CAM list for a long time. And every time I called and asked if they have a bed, they said they don't have family beds.
So the 7 of them had been sleeping in their 2002 Town and Country van since November. But the kids had everything else.
They ate every day, all day. Goodies, food. They didn't want for nothing. Every day they went to school. I had one mistake.
And the kid's grandmother, 49-year-old Yvette Goodman, was also in the van that day. Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke...
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
A GoFundMe account has been set up to help the family.
And that's one of the reasons we did set the GoFundMe up, so she will be able to have housing for herself and the children, her other remaining children.
We'll put a link to the GoFundMe account on our website, fox2detroit.com.
That's all I wanted to do was sleep somewhere safe.
In Detroit.
All right. So I have questions. I have a couple questions from that news recording. If you're interested in the music that's playing behind the video, that it's No One. I don't think No One, he was here when I started the other one, but I don't think he's here, but I'm sure that we can get his link down there in the chat. If you are a content creator, you can reach out to No One directly. and work out the particulars with him. So I do have, I just have some questions, right? So, so two of the children passed away, right? And she said, so they didn't say a number of how many other children that were left, because I thought I read somewhere that she had 7, but I could be mistaken. We're going to look at this other video and we're going to see that. Another thing I want to know is, so the woman that was in the video, the first one that was sitting with the mother of the children, is not the mother. She said that the children had goodies to eat and they ate all the time. That's kind of confusing to me. I mean, I get maybe, they had food stamps, but they couldn't give assist with a place to stay. In this day and age, I'm not trying to judge anyone. I'm just trying to understand. Because like a lot of us are going through it financially. I went somewhere the other day, and 18 eggs was $28.99, and I had no understanding. I wanted to know, the golden goose ladies' eggs, did they go through a whole 9 months, the whole 9-month period? I have questions for 18 eggs being $28.99. And they were an off-brand egg, eggs I've never seen before or heard of before. And then there was eggs for $17 and some change. It was 18 eggs. And then the dozen of eggs, which is 12, was $7 and some change. And then they had a carton of eggs, which was just right over the $7, $6.90 something cents. I'm just a little confused, but the Eggland's Best eggs for a dozen was only $3.59, and then their 18 carton was $5.89, which they had sold out of. I don't think that anybody had bought the eggs for $28.99. But I do have some questions about this video. Do they have coolers in the van? And then I saw that the children perished and then the father perished from the same thing. I'm not sure, like, if how many fathers there are. It's just a little confusing to me, and I'm just trying to. It was a celebrity chicken. FFS it had to be, because I'm not understanding. But I am going to bring over the other video. It is a little longer than that one. It's about 3 minutes. And this is a different news station. I just want to make sure they're not playing any music. If they are, I have the music on in the background anyway. But I do have questions. Now, this one's from Channel 7. I have not watched it in its at all. I just watched the first part of it, just to make sure it wasn't the same thing that I had set up for the other platform that I was going to use. So this is Channel 7 News. And they're going to be speaking about you're going to hear the words directly from the mother's mouth. I just want to make sure that, okay. Just want to make sure that I'm not, and there's no music involved. So, all right, let's look at this. And I just want to hear what you got. What's up? I see Jazzy T is in the building. What's going on? What's up? All right. So let me bring this $30 or I misheard. No, FFS. $30, $28.99. $28.99. And the other eight, they had 18 eggs that was $17 and some change. It was brands I had never heard of. But then the Eggland's Best, like I said, for 18 was $5.89, which they had sold out of. And then the carton of Eggland's Best was $3, I believe, in 49 cents or 59 cents. And they only had a couple of those left. The last time I checked, Eggland's Best is supposed to be like the better egg brand. And those other brands were not anything that I have, brands that I have ever heard of before. But I was just standing there in shock. I said, because that does not say $28.99. My mind, I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're heading. I'm going to have to start the senior citizen strip club. That's what that's what I'm going to have to do. Like, I'm have to something. The senior citizens, like, cause what they say, how old are you? I never was a scripper, but how old is too old for scripper years? So then I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comment, like, how old do they say is too old for scripper years? Because I think we, a lot of us are, like, getting up there in age, and like we want to make sure that we could fit in to the scripper years or whatever. However you want to. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure about what's going on right about now, and yeah, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. I was trying to fix my my deck here. It was just wasn't working because I did the eggs are $28.99 needs a, yes, it does. So yeah, like, unless we might have to get the senior citizen scripper thing going, and hopefully somebody will come out. I'm gonna rerun the place. I'm not gonna be the scripper. I'm gonna run the place, and hopefully they don't come out throwing red pennies and stuff. But this is getting out. What are we supposed to do? $28.99. Hi, Universal Tea with Marie. How are you? Thank you for coming. So we're gonna listen to the second video. Shout out to Channel 7 ABC News. This video is definitely being used for educational purposes under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act of 1976. And so we're just trying to have a educational conversation about what is going on here, because I'm not sure. But we heard the first video. Let's remember what we heard in the first video. Remember, I have not watched this video. I just made sure it wasn't the same as the other one, and it's definitely different. So let's take a listen, and I'm going to jot down my questions because I do have questions about this daggone story. Okay, here we go.
Mother trying to cope with a heartbreaking family tragedy is speaking out tonight to 7 News Detroit. She had been living in a van parked at the Hollywood Casino parking garage with her 4 children when the unthinkable happened. 2 of them died from what appears to be hypothermia. 7 News Detroit reporter Brett Cass telling us the mom says she tried to get help for her homeless family, but no one answered the call until it was too late.
I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dying inside. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking. And I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tatiana Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
And I regret having to sleep out there so bad. I tell them I'm sorry, but I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me.
1 a.m. on Monday morning, they parked at the Hollywood Greektown Casino parking garage in below freezing temps. Overnight, the car ran out of gas, and the next day, her 9-year-old son was not breathing.
I tried to give him CPR, and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Fetty, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please.
After a friend helped take him to the hospital, her 2-year-old daughter was also found unresponsive. Both were later pronounced dead from what appears to be hypothermia.
She didn't even get to live her life. She didn't get to do nothing. She lost her life because I had to sleep in the car.
In a press conference, the mayor and city leaders confirmed that Tatiana did call the city's homeless response team back in November, but nothing ever came of it.
At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back again for service. And as far as we've been able to tell, our homeless staff never proactively reached out to say, what happened with your situation? Was it resolved?
Mayor Duggan is now calling for a review of the city's homeless services, while Tatiana is now in a shelter and her kids are with relatives.
It took my 2 kids to die for y'all to help me. It just don't work like that. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling.
And the new McFall Brothers Funeral Home here in Detroit is providing funeral services for these children free of charge to the family. Now, if you are homeless or on the verge of homelessness, you can call 866-313-2520. We also have more resources listed on our website, wxyz.com. In downtown Detroit, I'm Brett Cast, 7 News Detroit.
So, okay, so I do have some questions. I have questions, right? So she, first of all, like, okay, so she had 4 children, not 7. But I did read somewhere that the father passed away as well. I'm gonna go and look at that to see if I could bring up that article. So now I do have some questions, right? So if her children are now living in a shelter, and she's living in the shelter, and the kids are living with relatives. My question is, why? So, according to what they're saying, she called once, right? She called once and never called back. And then also, the homeless hotline wasn't proactive in calling her back. I didn't hear anything about shelters. I didn't hear anything about, trying to go and stay in a shelter. And from what she's saying, like, her children, I do know that in some states, if a male child is 16 years or older and you are homeless, they will not take your male child into the shelter because they're worried about SA and stuff going on, which is crazy to me. You have older people on the street. But I never heard the word shelter until they said that she's now staying in a shelter. I have questions, like, so she called once, she didn't call back again. I have so many questions. This story is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to me. But also from the first story, the mother was in the van also. So the mother said she never goes to sleep. She just so happened to fall asleep this night and wake up, and the 2 of them were unalive. I have questions. The shelter is dangerous for mothers and children, but the only time they mention the shelter is when she said when they said that she is in the shelter. Now, in different places that the shelters are different. They have some shelters where you have your own room. You still have to abide by, especially with 4 kids. But that's just depending on the state. I don't know what's going on in Detroit, but you still have to abide by rules. You have to be in at a certain time. The room must remain clean and stuff like that. And they try to offer programs where they um where they kind of give you counseling to try to get you back into society and get you on your feet. In today's day and age, like the middle class is basically the lower class. Like it's not getting better for the middle class or the lower class from what I see. Yet I hear a lot of talk, but I try to. I don't even really pay attention to politics. I'll listen for as much as to keep me informed, but it's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors if you ask me. And that's just what I just think. The system is made for the rich to get richer, and for the poor to remain poor. I just have questions, and I understand. I get it. Gas has not went back up yet, and she has a 2002 Town and Country van. Um, so if these kids are eating and they are full and they can eat all the time, like she said, you have to be getting some sort of assistance, right? From welfare, maybe. So welfare is not concerned about where you're staying with these children. They just put stamps on a card and that's it. Don't you need an address? Or even if you don't have your address, you need the address of somebody that you're staying with. I'm not sure, how it works. Um, but I thought that was like the case. Um, I'm just a little confused. I really am. It's a sad story. I feel bad for the children. Um, but I have more questions than what they told us on the and of course the news clips are short, but I would like for them to stay on top of this story to tell us whether or not she had any success in her living situation and conditions, and was she able to be reunited with the children. So I don't understand that the children are with family members. Why couldn't the children be with these family members before? I'm just not understanding. Flesh of the gods. Yeah, I see flesh of the gods. I see. I don't know if that is okay. So I think you did a. Okay. Hey, flesh of the gods. It says that you did a raid. How are you? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. So I just have more questions than what they provided. Um, like I think that we have to learn sometimes that things happen, and sometimes we can look for help, but that is not something that I believe. This is just my belief, and I'm not talking bad about on her, this mother who is grieving from losing 2 children. Shout out to the funeral home that is going to help her. Sometimes we have to get out here and help ourselves. And especially with 4 kids, the father won't help because he's has shelter, but he has shelter from other women. So I'm just not understanding. I have more questions than answers. This is all I'm going to say. Like that's the only thing that I can say. I'm not understanding what's going on. Mookie, I see you up here in the building. Thank you so much. Flesh of the gods, what's going on? What's up to you? Thank you so much for coming and showing some support. We were just looking over a brief story about so child, you said no they don't. Was that to okay, so no, they don't ask any more questions. You're saying Universal T with Marie, they just put the stamps on the card. But I thought every now and then that they would have to go back and do like a recertification or something like that. So it hadn't been. I think the story says that they were on the they were homeless for 3 months. She tried to keep a room to keep them in. That's another thing that I just want to say that and I understand there's children involved. I do understand. But as long as there's DoorDash or Uber Eats, um what else we got out here? Ship they got something called Shipped. They got something called Instacart. As long as they have these things out here and the room is $40, we cannot be choosy about where you can live if if you don't have any other choices is what I'm saying. And I think Instacart and like DoorDash would be easier to do because you don't have anyone in the car and you would be I'm just my mind is just going because I have questions and that's just that. Shout out to Flesh of the Gods. Thank you so much, Flesh, for gifting one membership. That means a lot to me. So K Tally Pit Love, you did receive a membership from Flesh of the Gods. Please thank him and add him. I do like for if that the people that gift memberships that they are recognized by name. So if you hit the add sign and just start typing Flesh on the if you're on a computer, his name will pop up. He also has an emoji on this channel. And please drop some flesh emojis in the channel. In the chat, excuse me, along with some survivor bucks. Flesh also gifted another membership. Thank you so much, Flesh. To Cassie Coleman. Cassie, if you are in the chat, because sometimes they give chats, they give memberships to people that are not in the chat. So shout out to Flesh of the God for gifting another one, sprinkling us in two. I do appreciate you for that, Cassie. Please, if you're in the chat, please at Flesh and thank him because we like to name the people that give memberships over here. And thank you for growing the family. Thank you, Flesh. We got all right, and then briefly, let's just go ahead and play this for Flesh of God.
The super chat or membership. I love you all.
All right. Thank you so much, Flesh. I appreciate you. So we are working on an emoji for, and she's not here, and I miss her, but she might pop in. Who knows? Chloe Albert's revenge. We are working on a emoji for her. So I believe. Let me see where we are at now that we just we got those two. Let me just see really quick where we are at to get her. I don't even. My mind is all over the place. So when it comes to Chloe Albert's revenge, I don't know what I'm gonna do for Chloe Albert's revenge because if they say 5 or 6, oh, I need 2 more now. Okay, so y'all working all right, y'all working out all right. Okay, they seem to be a little on point. Maybe they went back because that 2 should have been it, but then you look again and they tell you. So I don't know. So forever for always. What's up, girl? You're just getting here. We were talking about the young lady in Detroit who lost 2 children. She was living in her van, and they died they passed on from hypothermia. The other 2 children are living with her family, and she is now living in a shelter. And I just had more questions than what they gave us. I'm hoping that they, provide a story. The news station, and let me check and see if there's an update, because the news station ran this story, and the news station shared her GoFundMe on their channel, and that is huge for the news station to do that. To look at, hear the story, and say that they're going to share her GoFundMe on their channel. I just know that a room a night is, $40. I'm not looking down on this young lady, not at all. But I'm just saying, in these days and age, because we're all a step away from, we don't know what's going to go on. But I can tell you what I do know. I don't get into politics, but I can tell you from being in the pharmaceutical profession for, what am I going on now? 17 or 18 years. I do know that, like right at the end of the Biden administration, they did, and I was happy that they did, roll back like the cost for medicine for diabetes. People need it, and so I think they changed it to $15, which is a reasonable price. There is a lot of things that are going on. A lot of stuff has been taken away, and I'm interested to see what happens. So I manage, well, I was managing a fentanyl opioid program. It's a REMS program, because my experience is in REMS, and REMS is very new to the pharmaceutical industry. But I started working in the REMS program, like, for the pharmaceutical company that created it, because the drug that they manufactured was something that they used way back in the 50s for women. They used to give it to women for nausea. It turned out that it was bad for the fetus. So there were a lot of children that were born with cleft lips, missing limbs, like a lot of children. They didn't realize. However, the drug works wonders for people that have MDS and oh my gosh, multiple myeloma. And so they put a REMS program in place. So you have to actually, before you can get the medication, depending on if you're male, you have to call and do a monthly survey. There are certain questions that they ask you. You are required to use contraception. If you're a woman of childbearing age, you had to use 2 types of contraceptions, and they have to take a pregnancy test monthly. But sometimes the medication gives off a false positive. So then those females that, give off a false positive, they would have to take a beta HCG pregnancy test, which is a test where they draw the blood. You couldn't take a urine test even if it was done. Well, the test has to be done at an accredited lab. So, and it worked wonders for people that have cancer, but a lot of cancer patients with MDS or multiple myeloma are more elderly patients. And so that's a REMS program. We manage the program, make sure that everything is going all right, that, make sure the patients have to be doing what they need to do. So I worked in that department, but then a step higher. It was like, I worked with like a panel of doctors or whatever. It's like I used to write medical reviews and stuff for the patients that are of childbearing potential that have this false positive. Every month they have to submit the test with a reference range, and I write up a report, send it over to the group of doctors, and they will say, oh, okay, so this reference range, but we would give them the okay. So, but if a male calls and said, I got my girlfriend pregnant, it's the same thing for the male. I would have to deactivate them. You need to stop taking the medication. Now, the male patient's partner does not have to tell you her business. That's her business. But there's certain things that they want to know because they have to report it to the FDA within 24 hours. This panel of doctors. So it is a great thing. So then they laid me off after being with them for 15 and a half years. And so I started working for this other company. And this is what's going on with our country. This is what's going on with us. They don't want to pay you what you're worth. So they started outsourcing all of their work to like a lot of companies in India. And they have some companies right here in America, but maybe the company is in North Carolina where the cost of living is not as much as high as it is here. Or the companies may be not in Atlanta. Atlanta is high, but down in Georgia where the cost of living is like pretty low. But a lot of times they don't get people, in those areas that work for them. So they still want to hire somebody that's like me where I live, like the cost of living is off the charts. Listen, but they want to pay you a wage they would pay somebody that lives in North Carolina. I'm not going to be able to do it. So, they try to, they laid me off. I'm like, hey, we are outsourcing to this company and they'll pay. So I'm going to log into the same system that I've been logging into for 15 and a half years. You're going to pay me less than half of the money that I make? Nah, bruh. I'm not going to be able to do that. So anyway, I started working for this company to manage, and I managed. And this is what's crazy. This is the craziest thing that I've ever heard, right? So I managed this program. Well, the patients have to be on a REMS program to get this fentanyl. They have fentanyl lollipops, lozenges, patches, but we didn't do the patches at this company. They have it in the pill form, so they have your generic and they have your generic and the brand name, right? And so the doctor, pharmacy, and patient needs to be enrolled. The doctor needs to submit something to us every month before the pharmacy has to get a RDA number. That's a REMS dispensing authorization number before they can dispense this drug to the patient. Now, when I worked for the other pharmaceutical company, there was only a certain pharmacies that was dispensing this medication. They were specialty pharmacies. This drug was a little different. As long as the pharmacy was enrolled, then that's fine. And they want to lock drug dealers up every day, right? Anybody know about fentanyl? They had that opioid crisis, and when it started hitting certain communities, it was a problem. So that's where this programs came from, because it started infiltrating into different communities that they didn't want it there. And it was like they was going out and getting it, and they didn't want it there. So we're on high alert. We stop the bus, stop the press. It's like everything got to stop because now it's coming into our community. The thing about this drug is, though, in order to get it, you have to already be on an opioid. You heard what I said. In order to get the fentanyl, you have to already be on an opioid. Now, an opioid that they prescribe from a pharmaceutical company. But in my brain, I'm like, these people sitting home effed up. That is why they calling here going crazy, because they can't get their medication because they don't want to feel nothing all day. So this medication is supposed to be used as a breakthrough medication. So they're supposed to take their opioids for their pain, but this medication is just supposed to be like for breakthrough pain that the opioid won't handle. Child, these people used to be calling and go. This lady called me about her husband. She told me she called there. She called me a bitch. You about to lose your job, bitch. first of all, stop cursing at me. That's the first thing that you're gonna do. Okay? You're not gonna cuss at me. All right? Well, you were the one that I spoke to the last time I called here. You're gonna lose your job. Put your manager on the phone. You about to lose your fucking job. I said, now I'm gonna give you one more time to cuss, and then I'm gonna hang up. Cause you're not the patient. Your husband her husband is such a nice man. Never had these issues, but you fella realize that you call here and think that because you say some things that it's going to make it better for your husband, but you called here, you made it worse for your husband, and at the same time, you alerted us to a pharmacy that was not compliant, and so now they cannot dismiss this medication. There's a whole process that they got to go through. And yes, I'm the one that put in the paperwork. She said, you put my name on paperwork, so I need to speak to the manager because you're about to lose your job. And I'm like, all right. So I called my buddy like, yo, this lady on the phone, she want to speak to my manager. He said, you should have told her you are the manager. I said, listen, I'm not going back and forth. Well, I said, you already know who she is. I said, she done cussed at me. I said, I'm glad she asking to speak to somebody else. She don't know that you're not even the manager. But I'm the manager. I manage this. Go on ahead and talk to her. She already had hung the phone up, but she called back and he got it. And she said, oh, she said my name is on the paperwork. She put my name on paperwork. And da-da-da-da. And he just told her she did an excellent job. She did her job. That's what she's supposed to do. Yet the pharmacy was non-compliant. The pharmacy cannot dispense the medication again. Until, they have a procedure that they need to go through. If they don't make it through the procedure, they won't be able to dispense the drug again. But, she was trying to help you go somewhere else to get the drug. In the meantime, you don't have to stick with this pharmacist who is your friend that dispensed this medication and did not follow policy and procedure. But after that, her husband didn't allow her to call back no more. But this is the stuff that, that you would go through. Like, they would just be calling, like, listen. And every time y'all call me, because they outsource this company now is in India, and they don't understand, and they get so scared. And all of these people that work under me, that I manage, they are all PharmDs or medical doctors. But every day I come to work, I got to fix their stuff. But that's because you're outsourcing the jobs to people that don't really understand. Just because I don't know what type of degrees you're getting where you are or whatever. This is a program that you really, really have to abide by, because the FDA comes in, and when the FDA comes in and does an audit, whatever's on you is on you. I'm not taking a fall for anybody. But then, the director there, he don't know how to talk to people. So, I had to tell him, a couple of times, pump the brakes. We're going to end this meeting. You're going to go breathe. I'm going to go breathe, because now my anxiety done kicked in. I don't know who you're used to talking to, but you're not going to talk to me like this. I'm having flashbacks, sir. Goodbye. And I would leave the meeting. You got it together, then we can resume and we can talk. Because you cannot speak to the pharmaceutical company that makes this drug. They're not going to talk to you. They talk to me. So what is your problem? We're not doing that, because that's not what they asked us to do. And I've already done a project with them that was perfect. And that's what they want now. And now you're trying to change for what? So the company stopped making a drug. It didn't have nothing to do with them or have anything to do with me. It had everything to do with they didn't want to manufacture the drug anymore, because I believe there is getting ready to be some more changes that's going to be coming down the pike again from the FDA, and they already know it. But we will. I don't know that much, that far, or whatever, or it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. But this news station shared this girl's GoFundMe. And I'm gonna look and see. I want to just see if they've done anything since she's since she's been out. Let me see. Because I didn't see anything before, but let me just make sure. Because I can imagine. Let's see what it says. All right, so they said that to give update, and so this was 3 days ago. Hold on. Now, see, this news station is saying that she reached out 3 times, at least 3 times, to the Detroit's homeless response team as late as November. So after that, the mayor filed. The mayor called for a review of the city services for homelessness. The city's homeless. So okay, so this mayor was on that first news, the first one that we watched. Now he said that she only reached out once. This is saying that I guess maybe through further investigation, they found out, and so this was on February the 11th. They found out that she reached out 3 times. She lost her children ages 2 and 9. So the 9-year-old was the oldest. Um, Now he's saying that we have to make sure that we do everything possible to make sure that this doesn't happen again. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. Um, Dugan said during a press conference Tuesday at Detroit Police Headquarters, "I'm not trying to talk about an individual employee. I'm talking about the system as a whole." So he doesn't want to talk about the employee that took the case, and they're not saying whether or not the same employee took the call each time. Are we doing everything to make sure people in the city know how to access this critical care? He said a preliminary review of city records shows the mother of 5. Okay, so now they're saying the mother of 5. Now in the same, they said 4. Now they're saying 5. She reached out at least 3 times. The last time being November 25th of 2024. The family said they'd been living with relatives, but were told they need to find another place and would need somewhere to go. So this gives us further clarity and clarification. Yeah, Universal Tea with Marie. I mean, it wasn't my first rodeo with them, and that's why I had to tell him, listen, we need to we need to reconvene. Let you giving me flashbacks. So I had another issue with, because it is their culture, right? And they don't respect women the way other people respect them in some parts of India. But thankfully, I went to school for business management, and in different they tell you, like, when you're working with people like with from a different culture, to try to find out how their culture works, so you'll learn how to work around them. That's something that they teach you in business management, actually. um and so when it happened to me at my old job, he was fairly new. I asked him a question. It was during COVID. I had a meeting with him. I asked him a question. He should have had somebody else sitting in the meeting with us. He didn't. He knew what I wanted to talk to him about. And so he came in the meeting right from the door, not even looking at me. He was looking this way at the wall. And we're in a meeting on Teams. And I'm like doing the greetings, like, oh, hey, how you doing? This man looked at the wall. He started going off. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Yeah. My man, yup, I'm gonna be logging off for the day because X, Y, and Z happened. Listen, I can't even talk right about now. But the thing for him was you just been here a little over a year, or maybe a little under a year, and you have had issues with 5 or 6 different women to the point where before COVID, everybody started working remotely. You cornered a woman in a room, getting in her face. Very, very intimidating. Like, so it's just like, this not what we doing, right? I'm gonna need you to go and compose yourself, come back and talk to me like I'm an adult. I'm not going to be the person that I report to crying every day that she logs off. This is just not what we're doing. I'm not letting the job trigger my anxiety because I suffer from anxiety. I've been through a lot of stuff. And you will not be triggering my anxiety. So I'm gonna need you to go and pull it together. That's breathe, count from 100 backwards, 1 to 100, whatever you need to do. But when you come back, we need to have a different tone, okay, sir? Because if I'm going to be respectful to you, you're going to respect me, all right? This is not what we doing, or not what we doing about something that you are trying to do that does not make sense. You don't meet with these people. I do. They don't want to meet with you. They know that you are the director over this whole program, but they don't want to talk to you because apparently you have no RIMS experience. So isn't that the reason why you hired me, doctor? Anywho, in the course of that conversation, there was no resolution reached on where they would go. Dugan said, the mayor said, what made Monday's tragedy even worse was that there was shelter space. Ooh, there was shelter space available for families that evening, just a few miles from the Hollywood casino parking structure in Greektown. It brings home the point that having services available doesn't mean very much if the residents who need them don't know how to access them, Dugan said. Interim Detroit Police Chief Todd Bedison said a preliminary investigation shows the mom and her kids have been living out of her van for 2 to 3 months and staying in various casino parking lots. So the thing for me is, even if she didn't know how to use the shelter, if she called and they're saying now that the shelter was available, nobody just told her, okay, they have space open at the shelter to go to the shelter. Or she allegedly parked in the Greektown structure around 1 a.m. Monday, parking on the 9th floor. At some point, her van ran out of gas or had a mechanical failure. That's dangerous in itself. Sleeping in a van with the motor running, that's a dangerous situation. Bedison also said the mother and children would sometimes use the casino restrooms and had parked in other casino parking lots in the city. They moved around from various casino parking lots, the interim police chief said. An autopsy hasn't been completed yet, but authorities believe the 2 children died of hypothermia. The mother noticed one of the children, the 9-year-old, wasn't breathing around noon on Monday and called a friend who drove the child to Children's Hospital. The 2-year-old was later found not breathing. Both were later pronounced unalive. Bedison said the city received a 911 call from the mom around 12:12 p.m. on Monday. City officials on Tuesday urged those facing homelessness to seek services, but Dugan acknowledged that some don't always seek help. The mayor said he wants to create a policy that will require outreach workers to make in-person visits to families with children dealing with homelessness. We have got to do a better job of educating people that the service is there, Dugan said, but the people that work there should know that it is available. Bedison said no one is in police custody, but the mother and a grandmother have been questioned by police. He said the investigation is ongoing and the department will present its findings to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, but he wouldn't confirm a criminal investigation is being pursued. That's what I wanted to know. That right there is what I wanted to know. 3 other children who were also in the van were evaluated at the hospital and are now staying with relatives, Bedison said. The children ranged in age from 2 to 13. So it was a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old. So the 13-year-old is the oldest. But they said 4 children before. Now it's 5. Mom sought help, according to Dugan. Aside from reaching out last fall to the city's homeless response team, the mother involved in Monday's tragedy had also reached out earlier in the summer and back into the previous year. So the previous year would be November of 2024. And in the summer would be from June through August, September, October, November. But I thought that she was only homeless for maybe 3 months. The family said she had to go. The mayor said the city has outreach workers to employ by Detroit and 32 from 6 other funded providers, including Cass Community Social Services and Neighborhood Services Organization, to help in emergency situation for those facing homelessness. But the housing situation of the mother and her 5 kids wasn't deemed an emergency. What? If it's an emergency situation, we send out one of these outreach workers, because when you're on the phone, you have people with complicated problems. Sometimes it's hard to figure exactly what the circumstances are. If she has 5 children, they have nowhere to go and they are sleeping in a van in casino parking lots, that is an emergency. Do you think because they can sleep in the van in the parking lot that that's not an emergency? I'm confused. When a homeless outreach worker goes and lays eyes on the family and sees what's going on, they know exactly what to do. For whatever reason, this wasn't deemed an emergency that caused an outreach worker to visit the family. You got to be freaking kidding me right about now. The grandmother was, for always, the grandmother was in the van with them. Maybe I'll play the short video again. The first short video, I'll play it again. The grandmother is going to be the grandmother in the black t-shirt. Let me just finish this, because what I watched initially left me with more questions than answers, but this is kind of... But how did the mother not know? The mother is the one that said she had 4 kids. 2 passed into... Watch, it's going to be in the video. The video's 2 minutes. Hold on. We were opening it to be ahead of the worst temperatures of the winter. Dugan said 3 weeks after the mom's late November call, the city opened a drop-in center on December 16th for families in need of housing or a shelter. So we were opening it to be ahead of the worst temperatures of the winter, he said. At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back for service. So after November, the family never called back. And December 16th, they opened up a shelter. But they never called back. But it was still cold in November. It's cold in October, I believe. I don't know. I'm not in Detroit. In Detroit, is that the way? Okay, so, and as far as we've been able to tell, our homeless staff never proactively reached out to say, what happened with your situation? Was it resolved, or to indicate there might be room available? When asked if other relatives knew the mother was living in her car with her kids, Besson said he didn't want to speculate. But they already said that she was staying with family members, and the family members told her she had to go and find a place of her own. But the timeline is not adding up, because they're saying 3 months. But if she called back in the summer, but from what he was told, he said she had But from what he was told, he said she had a lot of pride. She loved her kids and she wanted to keep the family together. I understand that, wanting to keep the family together. Dugan said he's asked Deputy Mayor Amelia Howard and Julie Schneider, director of the city's Housing and Revitalization Department, to come back in 2 weeks and go over the city's responses to the family involved. The Detroit has a housing resource helpline at 866-313-2520. I am going to insert that number here somewhere for anybody living in Detroit that may come across this video or know someone that is homeless. But it only operates Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. Calls to that helpline Monday evening were answered with a recorded message indicating the office was closed for the 4th of July holiday and would reopen on July 5th. Another call to the same hotline around 1 a.m. Tuesday indicated it was a homelessness hotline, but no one was available. Dugan said he's heard times that people have called the helpline and they came away confused. He said the hotline's hours have been extended occasionally during extreme weather, which they may do regularly. I want to make sure that when people call, they get very clear options when that phone call is made, Dugan said. And I'm asking them to put a policy in place that anytime minors are involved experiencing homelessness, that our outreach workers automatically do a site visit. For those who need help after 6 p.m., Dugan encouraged people to go to their closest police precinct. He said officers work hand in hand with the city's homeless prevention team. Detroit has roughly 18 homeless shelters and warming centers, but not all of them accept families and children. So Chad Audie, of the CEO of Detroit Rescue Mission Ministry, said unequivocally, listen, y'all, the children's death should have been prevented, though he was careful not to point a finger in any one direction. He said Detroit's system failed the family. Somebody asked for help. You did not give her the support, and now the result of it is you lost 2 innocent lives. That's not acceptable, Audi said. All right, this is a long, it goes on and on and on to how they've expanded this, that, and the third. The pride thing says a lot. 444, yeah, it do. To the point you can't come out the door, I heard. The Detroit get very cold. Yes, that's what I was saying. Detroit is supposed to be freezing. So around the time that she called in November, it should have been cold than a mug out there. So this is what she said in the first video for always. Let's get this up here. So let's hear what she said.
9-year-old mother of the 2 kids that likely froze to death Monday in the parking structure of the Hollywood casino.
Maybe I asked the wrong people for help, but that was the only thing I did wrong.
Tatiana, remembering how many times she reached out for a place to live, she asked the father of the 2 kids that died.
He had an excuse every time. Either he's working, they can't come where he living. He live with a female, and the parents and them don't want kids there or something.
She also asked the city of Detroit for help.
I reached out in November. I reached out before that. I've been on a cam list for a long time. And every time I called and asked if they have a bed, they said they don't have family beds.
So the 7 of them had been sleeping in their 2002 Town and Country van since November, but the kids had everything else.
They ate every day, all day. Goodies, food. They didn't want for nothing. Every day they went to school. I had one mistake.
And the kid's grandmother, 49-year-old Yvette Goodman, was also in the van that day. Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke?
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
A GoFundMe account has been set up to help the family.
And that's one of the reasons we did set the GoFundMe up, so she can have, so she will be able to have housing for herself and the children, her other remaining children.
We'll put a link to the GoFundMe account on our website, fox2detroit.com.
That's all I wanted to do was sleep somewhere safe.
In Detroit, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
So I think that's what gave me that's why I had more questions when I watched that one. So it was 7 of them sleeping in the van. She had 5 children, the mother and her. Okay, so now I got it. So in the other video, she said 4 children. I know I heard that. So that is the reason why it gave me more questions, because her mother is saying that she normally doesn't go to sleep when they're in the van. She don't know what happened. But they're saying that the mother told them that the van ran out of gas or had a mechanical failure. I guess that's what confused me. So she reached out November, she said, and before that. The whole thing about we'll take an adult in, but we're not taking families in is crazy to me. Most of the shelters that I hear about where I live at, they take families, but they won't take a male child that's 16 years or older, which is crazy to me. What is your 16-year-old supposed to do if you don't have anywhere to go? And then you wonder why. Some kids are just in the street. So I know if where I'm at, if they're not accepting male children 16 years and a mother really needs a place to stay, and she doesn't have any family or anywhere for the child to go, where are they going to go? To the streets. That's when they get influenced to be, possibly in a gang or something, because a gang will have a place for them to stay. Oh yeah, come here, you can stay with us. Then you get the whole, yeah, but in order to stay here, you have to be one of us. So I just have a lot of questions. It does get cold in Detroit. Cold. I heard too, Mookie, where you can't open the door or come outside, because that's how cold it gets. It is just, I don't know what's going on in Detroit. I don't know. Like Nazai Harris, I'm just not understanding. And soon as when I heard Detroit, I was like, really? Again, Detroit? This is what we doing? So yeah, and also to use the restroom facilities. So I know that they made a law in New Jersey that the kids can come in the casino, they just cannot be on the casino floor. So if the restrooms are not inside the casino, and I wouldn't see why, if I don't have a babysitter to keep my child and I wanted to go hang out at the casino, I just wouldn't be at the casino. I never understood that, but they do have a casino up in Philadelphia. Where you see, I don't know why it is. It's like a whole bunch of Chinese people. It's like they come by the busloads, and I mean they have their children, everything. They sleeping in. They had to hire security to keep them out of the food court up there at the casino in Philly, because that's how bad it used to be. Or they would just be laying in there on the benches sleep. And I'm just like, they actually come here to visit. So my child is not going to a casino. Why, when I was in a case manager shelters, most of my clients were not from NYC. They were mostly from other states. Yeah, and that could be, the reason too. Yeah. Some places they don't They don't have, but depending on what neighborhood, now you can go into some neighborhoods, and I heard they have shelters where, a family gets their own room. Like, they just have rules. They can't drink. They have to be in at a certain time. They have to keep, their rooms clean. But it's a family shelter. But if you are a battered woman, you may get a better preference than somebody that's just homeless. So you're calling with a domestic violence situation. You may have, like, the police station may help you go into a shelter. There's a story that's going on right now on YouTube. I think it's disgusting. So a lot of people have donated money to this woman that is allegedly has been abused, and come to find out, it is a scam. She doesn't have her children because the truth is that they abused the children. Her and the husband, they don't have their children, and she was also abused, but she was trying to cover up the abuse when they came and got the children. So now the children have been taken from her. Supposedly she's put out here that she's in a coma, and people have been donating money to her husband, and it is a lie. And I think that is disgusting because there are people out here that do need help. And this is why people don't want to help others, because people do, play on people's sympathy. And this is exactly why people don't help. I think it's disgusting. They're being exposed. I hope they keep exposing them. And then hopefully the authorities will get involved, because they scam people out of a lot of money. And they have channels, bigger channels that are helping them do it. The channel doesn't know, but some people that are on the channel, on these platforms, they know that it's a scam. Instead of you saying, "Oh, we made a mistake," they played on our intelligence too, and so we thought we were helping. No, you're going along with the scam, so now you're part of the problem. They can't get the children back. They can't. The father is they're taking them to court. The children, they told them there's reports. Who did this to you? Poppy did this to me. After they felt comfortable telling them. So they can't get the children back, but you have people that are donating to this directly to the abuser, the man. It's his Cash App. And I think it's disgusting. They need to be exposed, and they need to continue to expose them. And I think that they need to bring this information to the authorities, and there should be another charge added on top of whatever they have already. Like, it's a time when you the snitches wear stitches. Yeah, no snitching if you're a part of something. If you're somebody like ASAP Rally, you don't have the right to snitch on nobody, bruh. But something like this where kids are involved, yeah, and especially that you have people on YouTube that will give you their last $2, $3, $4, $5, for situations like these. And so, yeah, that these situations need to be brought to the light, and it needs to be stopped immediately. Yeah, I'm somebody that likes, I donate and support when I can, to different causes or whatever, but I'll donate to a content creator before, because some of these people just be on here with the stories, and it's sad that, you want to help, but, you can't. Because especially if certain people are already attached to it, you shouldn't. You have to know who's who. If not, you need to find out. Anytime a certain somebody is saying they're helping somebody, I'm absolutely not even paying attention. I'm going to skip right over it, not looking at it, because we don't know whether it's a scam or not. But 99% of the times it's a scam. So that's it. But I hope and I pray that the family, her family gets help. Um, I pray she gets pray that she gets a place to stay. Hopefully, because what I was looking for was more clarity on the story, which they have a whole write up on the story, which I already got the clarity that I needed. Another thing that I was looking for is that to see if they were going to try to bring any charges, against her. So that's something that is not ruled out yet. If they can find the way, they will. But from what I hear, the mayor saying is that she wasn't helped properly. But then you read the part about her pride. And I get it. You're prideful in these times. If you need help, I'm somebody that I'm not going to ask you for help. I'm somebody that if I'm sick, you probably won't know about it. Like I might tell certain people, I might get on here and tell y'all, I just haven't been feeling well. I might not tell you to the extent that I'm not feeling well. I'll just always let you know because people do know I'm a breast cancer survivor. It has nothing to do with cancer. I will do that. But I'm not somebody getting on here, sitting on here, crying all day long about what's going on with me. And that's just me as a person. Even when I'm not on here, I'm not crying about things that I go through. I had breast cancer. There's always going to be something going on. Some things just get harder than other things, but I'm not going to come up on here, sitting here, every 5 minutes telling you, oh yeah, I'm going through this and this happened and this happened. When I was laid off from my job, I didn't tell nobody. It is what it is. But you have some people, that's the way they get on here and they make their money that way. And however, whatever, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. If that's what you do. But content creators this is a job for content creators to find content and to bring content to you. It is a job for some people. This is all that they do. So it is a job. But when to get on here and to peddle every 2 minutes you having something going on, that's something different. Find content that you like to report on and do that part. That's it. But I'm not coming on here like, peddling to you. I'm going to always talk about breast cancer. It's near and dear to my heart. Why would I even have? I'm going to use my platform for that. Yes, I am. Because the early detection is the best protection. It is. I'm not supposed to be sitting here today, but I am. And so any chance I get to educate people about breast cancer, especially now, my thing is every time if I go live 2 or 3 times a day, you won't hear that men get breast cancer too. Because there is a big stigma out there and men are losing their lives never even knowing that they even had breast cancer. And because they are men, a lot of doctors won't even check for that. So I'm a breast cancer survivor going on 18 years. Yep, I will be doing something for that. Birthday coming up. That's coming up right after that. My birthday coming up soon, y'all. March 2nd. Get ready, y'all. Get ready like now. Y'all get y'all stuff together for me. March 2nd is my birthday. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer March 8th. So sometimes I don't know whether I like to use the March 8th or I just like to use it was October actually when I was done with surgery and everything else and had no traces of cancer. I did go to another level, based on research. But there's a lot of things that they don't tell you out there that you do have access to when you have cancer. And sometimes I just sit here and break it down and give it all to you because you need to know. But your girl also does have a book out. No one, I don't know if you got your book yet, but I see, I sent you this on the way. It's on the way. Yeah, your girl, I did write my story. I'm proud of that, and I wrote my story, and there it is. Um, it's called Surviving Strong, Overcoming Triple Negative Breast Cancer with a Resilient Mindset. You can just scan the QR code, or, they drop the link in the chat all the time. It's on Amazon. Um, I haven't put it in Barnes and Noble or anything like that, not just yet, because I actually want to update the manuscript. But your girl got to sit tight and do it, and I had to lock myself in the room just to finish the story. So um, I don't advertise it all the time in this way, but they do drop the link in the chat, and it just says, "Oh, support surviving by the book." People probably never knew that. Yeah, the book is about my story with about breast cancer. So with my journey, how I led up to how I found out I found my own lump. My daughter was 5 months old. I had just had a baby. It was just all crazy um, to me. And I went through it. I'm a better person for it. So a lot of times I go through things I won't even tell you. I had something called triple negative breast cancer. At the time, they hadn't done too much research on it because guess what? Guess what they said? Guess what they said? And this was my quack of a oncologist. Yes, I said my quack of an oncologist. I cannot stand her. I'm gonna say that my healing was already written. I'm a strong believer. I have a very big faith. My healing was already written, right? I just needed to do my part. I'm not going to take it all from her, but what we tried, what the chemo therapy that I used, I think it was all the work of the Lord. So triple negative breast cancer, they really didn't have a treatment path for it because it's considered a African American and Latino woman's cancer. You're going to sit here and tell me that is that the reason why, or is it just the triple negative breast cancer? Is it like something that's not just? Are you really going to? Are you really telling me? Well. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this a different way. Maybe you're saying that most cases that you get is you see it in women that are African American and Latino, and maybe you don't have that many patients, but then you can't say it like that because you're going based on a scale of the world. Well, Malak Rock, she's Chris Rock's ex-wife, the one that got smacked by Will Smith. His wife lived next to a Caucasian woman who was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, and she passed away from it. So Malak Rock started a nonprofit for triple negative breast cancer because of this Caucasian women. This is how I describe cancer as a whole, not just breast cancer, any type of cancer. Cancer is an intruder. It enters into your life, does not ask you, hey, do you think that I can invade your life and make your life hell? No, it doesn't. It's an intruder that invades your life, and then what it says, of course, cancer doesn't talk, but what it says is, I'm here, bitch. You either gonna fight or you gonna lay down. Which way you gonna go? That's just what that's to sum up breast cancer. That's it. That's what I think. It doesn't make a difference what color you are. It doesn't make a difference. The only thing, women can't get prostate cancer. Now, when I look at people and they tell me they are women, yeah, I had prostate cancer. Oh, yeah, you got one of those. Oh, okay. Child, you can't get no daggone prostate cancer. And y'all don't think that I'm just saying that just to be saying it, just to be funny. I had a woman tell me she was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and this just took me out. You was diagnosed with what? So what you saying? You got both down there? What is going on, ma'am? But anywho, so yeah, that's how I sum up cancer. It's an intruder. It enters your life. Knuckle up. Knuckle up. Guard your grill and knuckle up. Because you're in the fight for the fight of your life. That's the way I explain it. And it doesn't, to me, that whole color thing of this is more prevalent and this is the MDS and multiple myeloma, they say happens in older people, elderly people. My cousin, my son's cousin, she was 24 at the time. The same time I was fighting cancer, she was fighting MDS. 24. We're in a grocery store. We see my son's aunt, and we're in a grocery store. She said, "Y'all here looking like a science project." It's funny now, but at that time I said, "Man," because she had to do way more things than I had to do. Like she had to shop with gloves on and everything. You know, it didn't go that deep for me, but because they broke her down to where she was like a newborn baby, she had to it was very bad for her. So we used to go shopping together, and it was with things I would be like especially fruits, believe it or not, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. She had to be very careful when she touched it. So I would do that part. But it's something to go through. It's something to come through. My uncle is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. I will always, always, always advocate, not just for people with just breast cancer, for families that are just dealing with cancer. And so it's the reason why I did start my merch shop. And Nessa C is here. Nessa C knows about Mr. Rosiah Clark. Mr. Rosiah Clark is getting ready to ring the bell, y'all. I have to do a story about Rosiah Clark. As a matter of fact, I want to get Rosiah Clark on here myself on the platform. I just want to give him time. He's like a bonus son to me. 21 years old, diagnosed with osteosarcoma, cancer in his jaw. He's been through a lot. I have a video. It's somewhere down there. It was seen by a lot of people. I was so discouraged because so many people saw the video, and that's the first and only video I ever promoted. So many people saw the video I promoted that I put pay behind, and so many people saw the video, and I even have people come on here and tell me things. And it's a good thing that I would never say anything to his mom about, what some people told me. I mean, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything to me. You saw the story, you can respond and move on, but don't respond to me, especially about something as big as you respond to me, and then I've never seen this person again. And I'm glad I didn't tell his mother that because I was so excited. I'm like, oh yes. So, and it just didn't happen. But Rosiah Clark is very resilient, a very sweet young man. Very resilient. Just his resilience is awesome. He's going to school to get his degree in computer science. And when he got diagnosed, he was a junior at the time. He went through his first round of chemo, and he had finals to take. And he went and took his finals, and his mother was like, Messiah, are you sure? And he's like, Mom, I got to do it. Just let me do this. Just let me do this. And he aced it, y'all. He aced it. I get teary-eyed just thinking about it because I had got sick and I had just went off the radar. It's just like, I just didn't want to tell Roziah I was going through anything. I didn't want to. And I text his mom like, yo, I'm going through something. Don't tell Roziah. Don't tell him. I just don't want him to know. I'm going to be okay. I don't want him to know. So she's like, sis, all right. And I'm just like, how am I? Like, I'm normally like, reaching out to them, like, like to her, like we have like conversations and talks and stuff like that. And it's just like stuff had just got heavy. And I just, in my own mind, like, I can't. But for me to read the other day that he's going to be ringing the bell. He's had surgery, and I got permission to talk about his story anytime that I want to talk about it. I'm just not on here talking about it, and I never got permission. I got permission from his mom. I got permission from him, and what we do is what personally, what I do between me and him, but his story, any type of way I could tell it, I will. I used to share his Cash App all the time because it was a rough time for them, but he had surgery. So they removed his jawbone because that's where he had the cancer at. They removed his jawbone. He had cancer before that. They removed the jawbone. It was a bunch of him just being rushed back and forth to the hospital. And one Sunday, I wake up, y'all, I'm at the gas station, and I get a message, and it was just what Roziah's thoughts was for today. And his thoughts was healing and getting back to school to get his degree. That was all that he ever wanted, was to finish getting his degree. And so he had to have surgery where, they're going to remove a part of his leg to reconstruct his jaw. And through it all, he never stopped smiling. When I tell you, Roziah is an amazing man. Mother's Day, he told his mother, he was in the hospital, Mom, go home. She's like, no, I need to be here for you. And he's like, no, I have a little sister. It's Mother's Day. Go home. I'm going to be fine till you get back. And she went home. And I'm just like, most children, like in that state, 21, he's still a child to me. He's still in college, like he's still young. They wouldn't be thinking about their mother. It would be a wham moment. Okay, yeah, I'm in the hospital and this, that, and that. But he always tried to convince his mother to take some time away, take care of you. She never wanted to do that. His mother is awesome. He's an awesome young man. And I can't wait till he walks across the stage and gets his degree. His mother has been through it all. For him to get chemotherapy is 4 hours away from where they live. Her car broke down. It was just so much. And it was just like, she had to rush him to the hospital one day. And she rushed him to the hospital near where they lived. And they was going to give this baby surgery. And if you don't know, you need to know that if you have a doctor and you go to a certain hospital and your doctor's not a part of that hospital and you get admitted, you're under the care of whatever doctors are on staff at that hospital. Your doctor can be a consultant, but they really have no say so in what you do. So they were trying to admit him and give him surgery for something that he did not need. And I am losing it on the other end of the line, texting, no. Call a doctor where he gets his treatment. And the people the doctors and the staff we got his treatment was like, oh, no. We are arranging emergency transportation. Bring Rosiah here. He didn't need the surgery, y'all. He did not need the surgery. And so his mother was trying to get a job. There is no way you can, and I understand, I can't tell anybody not to get a job, but please be an advocate for your son when he can't be an advocate for himself, which she was already doing. I didn't have to tell her. Let me say that. She was already that. But when I saw that the other day, I was like, wow, I would, because I don't stay on Instagram too long. I go there, post and leave, and I said, oh my goodness, this is such exciting news. And it's like, I'm always in tears when I read anything that she writes me or anything. I don't need recognition for anything. And anytime I'm talking about Rosiah, it's because he inspired me to start my merch shop. So anytime there's a purchase for my merch shop, most of the proceeds go to families who are caring for a loved one that has cancer. Does not have to be breast cancer. So it was, for Rosiah. And you can get people to, purchase or whatever. This is a piece of merch. I got on a piece of merch today. It's funny because I never really have on my merch, but I have on a piece of merch today. This is moi, a picture from when I was modeling. I just turned a portion of my modeling portfolio into animation. So I do have new merch on now. I have Minnie Viver. She is the bad person. She's terrible, the one on the screen. And we have Hood Viver. They're also the emojis if you remember. We also have Gangsta Viver shirts. She's on the intro, the new intro that I made. And then we also have like a fight, like a queen merch on the merch shop. I have to reach out to them because I want to lower the merch. I think that it's too high. So I have to reach out to them to see if there is something I can do. We have bandanas on there now. I just put some bandanas on there for dogs. Yeah. Yes, for dogs. Y'all know I lost my dog to breast cancer. Breast cancer, Lord, to cancer, not breast cancer. So I lost my dog to cancer. So when I saw the bandanas for the dogs, I was like, heck yeah. Yeah, this is what we're doing. We're doing these. So we have those. We have mugs. This is a mug I broke what's the name on Beyond the Chemo Room, Our Black is Pink. That's a slogan of mine. I was going to do a podcast. It's still a slogan of mine. And so, yeah, so we have those things. I really don't. My mods share the links to those things, but some people never really know the meaning of why they exist. But my merch shop exists because of Rosiah Clark. I didn't get much, but I do what I do personally for people. That is just on me. I don't like, it is what it is. But my book is my story. I haven't been able to. Me and Amazon got a love-hate relationship. That's all I'm gonna say about them. The title of my book should not have anybody believe that if you get diagnosed with cancer, all you gotta do is shift your mindset, and you're cured. That's not what the title of my book means. But it does. It means that when you get diagnosed with breast cancer, some people get defeated before they even try to get to their healing. Some people get defeated with the diagnosis. It's not a death sentence. And a lot of people are asking me, I'm telling you, I used to hang the phone up on people when I first got diagnosed. I'm talking the first day. My sister called me, click, call me back when you get it together. Some girl called me from work. Oh my God, click, call me back when you get it together. I just got diagnosed with cancer. I have a 5-month-old baby. I got work to do. I'm already healed. That you believe it in your mind. you have to believe that in your mind. Your mind has to shift. It's not I'm okay, I'm going to just be treated and I'm going to just perish. No, if you do that, that's what's going to happen. I've lost a lot of people to breast cancer. Sometimes some Octobers you won't see me celebrate. It depends on what I'm feeling in that time. The woman that helped me with my journey in the beginning died from breast cancer. So it gets heavy for me at times. Uh, Another friend of mine, I posted on, and she's here on. If you guys are like gospel, it's really not like, it's really not gospel. I need y'all to go to YouTube Music, type in Kelly Downing. She only got one album. You can listen to it from the front to back. She got some of everything on there, some club, some country, whatever you want. That is a good friend of mine. I did great work with her. I worked on that project with her after its completion, when it came to like doing her media kit, and I was part of the street team, and like, she was awesome, an awesome actress, sang her face off. I was in a couple of productions with her where she was in the play and she was the director. She was rough. It's 12:45 a.m. Kelly, are you saying we need to take it from the top? Do we need to we got to take it from the top, all the way from the tippy top, from the beginning? It's 12:45. I need to go home. All right, Kelly said take it from the top. Let's just take it from the top. But Kelly has an album. It's Kelly Downing, Kelly Downing, Downing. Go over to YouTube Music, type it in, listen to it, keep it on repeat. She left us such a great gift. I cannot say enough about it. It's my favorite track on the album is called In the Master's Hands. But I love it all the same. So it's just like I was there when she was diagnosed. It was something so personal that happened between me and her before she passed, and things I'll never be able to unsee. People don't understand, like, if I have breast cancer and you have breast cancer, our fight is never the same. So I never look at people like, oh, well, they didn't go to breast cancer as bad as I did. I never look at people like that. So seeing her in the hospital, and after working with her, and she's always pouring into me. She had said to me, oh my goodness, I'm glad you're here, because somebody understands. And she rips, they had gauze on here, and I'm like, I already had broke down, because when I got there, she was in crisis. Don't cry, don't cry. Just keep it, hold it together for her. And I'm saying in my head, oh no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm saying to myself, like, hold on. She can barely talk though. And I'll never be able to unsee that image, ever. She had tumors outside of her breast as well as inside. I'll never be able to unsee that. Never. And the doctor comes in. And her mom, her sister's there, and they're like, oh, she's family, just go ahead. And because she was in crisis, and the nurses had got together, the doctor came, and the doctor was like, there's just not anything else that we can do. And I'm looking the other way like, yep. So her husband and her kids come, and she's talking to him, and I'm wiping her mouth with the gauze. They had the wet wipes because she couldn't. And so she's saying something to me, trying to talk, and I'm like, just keep all your strength. Don't I'm good. Don't talk to me. So he's telling me they told her she has like 6 months to a year to live, but I'm just like, yep. But that's not what God said. We got to go with God's plan. 2 weeks later, I came back to see her on a Saturday. Nobody was there. She was just laying there. And I'm just like to the nurses, like, is there any reason why like she's just like laying here like sedated like this? Like, what is going on? They said, well, we can give her, we have to, in order for us to keep like her from screaming from the pain, we have her totally sedated. So I call her husband and I'm like, I'm here because my daughter was not taking no for an answer. My daughter wanted to see Kelly. And I'm just like, I don't think that it's a good idea. My daughter at the time, she's like 13, 14. I'm like, I don't think it is a good idea. But thank goodness she was sedated when we got there. So I told my daughter, she's just asleep. And I don't want to wake her up. And I asked the nurses, like, and they told me. So I called her husband, like, I'm here. And he's like, I just need a night. And I told him what, was going on. And then I had to call him back. I'm like, oh, the nurses are like, are you coming or somebody else coming tonight? So they want to make sure that there's pillows and stuff for you guys to sleep. Because they never, left her there by herself. So her husband was like, well, I'm just having a night out, tell them I'll be there. And I told him, I said, well, they're not, I'm not going to let them kick me out. I'm leaving when I'm leaving. So I just sat there with her and just was talking to her. And I knew that I was not going to come back and see her after that. And so the crazy thing is, the play that we were in was called Yet Will I Trust Him. She played the lead role in this play. She was going, her and her husband, they had a son. One day she started having pains. This is a play that her cousin wrote. So she was having pains. She started having these pains. And her stage husband was arguing about something. And she went out and she performed. And then she passed away from cancer. Her husband played the security, the EMT worker, one of the EMT workers that carried her off stage in this play. So at the funeral, her cousin, he's a young pastor, he just looked at me and I said, Pastor Wayne, what in the world, exactly how you wrote this play? He said, sis, please don't even remind me. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't know. When I tell you, God, it was unreal. It was unreal. We did the play 3 times. And the last time we did it, Ty Tribbett was in it the last time we did it. Ty Tribbett was in the play the last time we did it, right? I kid y'all not. He walking in, it was like, oh. I said, oh my goodness, there's a light. He has a light that exudes from him. But he was bugged out. So he didn't come to regular rehearsals with us. He came the day of the play, not the night. He came the day of the play to like kind of go over it. And so I was a pastor, and at the end, I gave like the closing, like yeah. And then he came behind me and did it. So we were standing on stage, waiting for like the person to say whatever. And Todd Tribbett is back here like, sis. So they just don't respect pastors no more. They don't give us orange juice, water, or nothing. And I'm like, Todd Tribbett, if you don't stop my part, it's time for me to go up. I cannot be laughing. He was so much fun. I loved it. I loved it. I loved him. He was so down to earth. It just was like it just was nothing. Um, but he was very down to earth, very nice. And that was the last time she did the play. And I did another one after that. She was a singer, but she wasn't like in it. She was a more hands-on, like she directed that one as well, but she like sung a lot of the vocals. Um but yeah, check her out on YouTube. Kelly Downing, Greater Faith in You. My friend, my Shiro in heaven, along with Vanessa, my other Shiro in heaven. So every year, some years, I'm trying to like force myself. So this year was I did that campaign, that breast cancer. It was a personal breast cancer campaign that I did for myself. It was the last time I ever did anything modeling wise. My daughter was my creative director. She was brutal. I think that's her lane. I told her, I think this is your lane, but you're gonna leave me alone. So the cover of the book is from the personal breast cancer campaign that I did. That was the last time that I did any. Yeah, that was the last time that I did any modeling. Done with that. Done. I might come up in some of y'all feed y'all don't know it's me. That's the funny and that's the good thing about it. Well, yeah, y'all don't know that it's me, but it's stuff that I did after cancer, so it's all in the book. Um, I share pictures in the book of when I modeled, like who I modeled for. Most of the pictures that I used though was from Marco Hall, who was a great friend of mine. I'll bring him back on the platform. Again, we always catch up. He's my childhood friend, but he is a celebrity designer. He doesn't say it, but I've been in a lot of rooms, just modeling myself and just on my own. And then after I modeled, I got with him, and I met Intozaki Sean Gay. I spent a lot of time with Intozaki before she died. She is the woman that wrote the poem for Color Girls, When the Rainbow Isn't Enough. Very, very great, wise poet. I loved it. Like, so I spent time with her. I spent time with Prince's band, not Prince. Prince was upset because he wanted my friend to just be a stylist to him. When Prince works with somebody, he doesn't want them working with anybody else. And my friend told him, "No, I can't do that. I can't. I can be a like your stylist, but I can't, cut off like, that's like, no, I can't." So his band partied with us one day, and it was like Prince knew they was there for about 15, 20 minutes. And Prince called one of them. I want to have rehearsal right now. Y'all need to get back. They was in New York. Y'all need to get back to New York now. And that's the type of attitude that he had. But I spent Whoopi Gold. I spent the time with a lot of people, so that's why when they say in this business, like in the music industry, in the fashion industry, it goes hand in hand. I wish I would. Everything I did, I got on my own merit. I did it on my own. I didn't. I do think that I could have almost been Diddy, but thank goodness I'm smart. But other than that, I have never really had anybody try me like that. Or if they did, it was going to really be a problem, especially in those type of settings. I was probably, if I was out like that, I probably was with a bunch of other models, or if I wasn't with Marco, if I was with Marco, then I was with a bunch of queens, and they didn't play about me, and my own way of thinking anyway. Like I'm not. You want me for me, or you don't want me at all. But there was a lot of, you're dark skinned, you're not going to do this, do this, do this, do this, and that. I made history several times. And then I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm out of here. And my last interview, I did it with a blogger. She's like, why are you leaving? Like, you're getting. I said, listen, I didn't want to do this ish anyway. I had one thing on my bucket list, and that was to do a fashion show. And then this light-skinned heifer told me, oh, that I wouldn't be booked to do work for this campaign or whatever. I wouldn't do this. And when somebody tell me I can't do something, it's just like they turn a switch on and the fire lights under me. And so it was just crazy. And I did what I did in such a short time. And they were like, why are you are on fire? Why are you leaving? First off, I reflect a lot and look back like, how in the heck did you do all that? Working a full-time job, how in the heck did you do all that? I don't know. I mean, well, I know it's only the Lord that gave me the strength, but I was everywhere, like just doing so much. I've done a lot. A lot of models are still trying. From when I used to model before, they're still trying. I did a lot where I can call people and they will show up. And I mean, that's why I have such a love for Melanie Jones, because it's a coincidence, but we found out we know some of the same people, and I just was like, oh wow, that's you. And so yeah, that's why it is what it is. But yeah, I did a lot, and so it's in the book. I went back and got my degrees after I had cancer, like, because I started it way before. So I checked, right in my book was the last thing that was on my bucket list. So I got to check off everything on my bucket list. And now I have a new bucket list. I have about 2 things on it. That's it. I'm really good. But I do share some pictures sometimes. I do share some. There are some things on my Instagram. There are some pictures on my TikTok. I have some pictures on here, but the pictures that you see, like the graphics that's on my outro and stuff like that, those are all me. Like Mini Survivor, that's not me. Mini Survivor, that's not me. That's a character I created, and I think Hood Viver is not me, and neither is Gangsta Viver. But there is a picture that, if you remember, of the of me looking like I'm ready to fight. That's me. I just animated some of my portfolio. So it definitely is me. You got it? You have it, no one? Why you didn't tell me you got it? I said, are they going to deliver this? Because it says no one to no one. It was so funny when I was shipped to no one. Okay, so good. I'm glad you got it. So you see the pictures in there. You see my dog in there. I love that. I love that. Love that. Tell me what you think about it when you read it. And, the other thing I'm interested in hearing what it is that you have in mind to put out there. But I love that you got it. Thank you. I was like, did he get the book? Because I sent it. I'm in your bushes working. I see it. Okay. You love that book? Oh, all right. Did you get it? I don't know if you got it or you just talking about the cover, but yeah, I just watched a story about Vanity. She talked about how mean Prince was. It broke my heart because he was my boyfriend in your mind. So I never got to meet him. He was so mad at my friend because my friend didn't want to drop everything that he was doing and just be his fashion designer. But yeah, the van came by. They were so nice. And one of the band members, she was mixed Oriental with something that, like, the coolest person. When I tell you, they were there for about 15-20 minutes, and Prince called one of them, was like, yeah, y'all need to get back to New York City because I want to rehearse. And I was like, oh, well, all right, y'all. Well, it was nice meeting y'all, and maybe we could do this all again. Um, but yeah, that's what he said he was. But yeah, he did not want my friend. He was like, listen, you come work for me, and I don't want you doing anything. Are you crazy? Yeah, we just can't do that. Let me tell you something. My friend has a shop in Newark. It's called MH302. I used to be a silent partner in the store, but no longer. Um, but man, let me tell you something. Natalie Cole just showed up one day. Didn't even say that she was coming because he did a show for plus size women, and wanted a dress that she saw it, and she wanted the dress. So he actually cut the dress down because Natalie Cole was super thin before she passed. And like they didn't even tell him that she was coming, because a lot of times when celebrities come there, like the shop will get shut down. Like we will, we'll just be like, no, right now we're not taking. And then we would close the gate like it's closed, and everything else have to sign around, like you wouldn't be able to come in. Um, but yeah, I met a lot of people, been in a lot of rooms with a lot of people, had a lot of fun with a lot of people, been at parties, no Diddy. It wasn't nothing like no Diddy parties or anything like that. At least nothing that I went to. um, you know, um, and every year, during Fashion Week, it's one of Marco's, is his best friend, but his name is Yancey. He used to come out every year. The View. He was the hairstylist for the View, and they would bring him out every year because he would get the crowd so hyped, and then people used to look for him to come out. So I don't know if you guys used to watch the View, but Yancey would have his birthday party would fall during the Fashion Week. When I tell you the people, he used to bring the people out. He used to bring the people out. Like they would come from everywhere. And Marco would always do a show during his, party within a party, and it would be so many people there. And it would be a great thing. I mean, the most we would be was, we already know we come together. Nobody's going home. I don't care, Marco, you a man. Everybody is going. We came together. We are going home together. That's just how it is. Like, let me tell you something, man. I remember we was, it was one party. It was just so crazy. Michael Vick's wife, she's very nice. She came to a party with one of Marco's other best friends, their business partners, and they had the black card. And when I tell you, I said, listen, I can't drink no more. Like this is too much. And they like, yeah, we paying top shelf, everybody drinking. I said, shh, I'm drunk enough. I'm not drinking no more. And I don't drink anymore. But I would drink on occasion. But this night, I mean, she had the black card flying around, and they was everybody. It was crazy. I was outside. It was snowing. I had took my shoes off, even though I had just told. I had just went off on Summer Wayans. She is the niece of Marlon and Damian Wayans and them. I had just went off on her because we was at a party that Sway gave in New York, and we were in VIP. So we were getting on the path to catch the path out of New York, and the one side was closed, so we had to walk so far. Every model knows that you better have some fold up shoes or something in your bag. She takes her shoes off. Now we are walking, it smells like urine, everything. And even the cops was in the station like, man, we think you want to put your shoes on. But I just walked from outside the club. My feet was hurting. I was outside snowing. I still have it. I still have the picture. Did I take my shoes off afterwards? It was Tahiri was there, and then we was all just having like a ball. And we out there in the snow and we took a picture. So I believe that the stuff happened with Diddy. Like I said, I had somebody have me fly to Florida, and it just didn't sound right. And so now to think back, He was like, oh yeah, well, this young artist is 18. He makes a lot of money, and like Diddy has parties, and he wants models to stand around holding like art. And he was telling me something about a blank check. Well, I'm giving you a check. I told him, I said, I don't know if you used to dealing with models that don't really model professionally or not, but why am I giving you a check? You pay me, I don't pay you. That's not what's going on. Then he said he wanted me to buy a MacBook. I'm not buying nothing. Why am I buying a MacBook? What sense does that make? I said, listen, this is not how I work. I said, I get work on my own. I'm signed to 2 agencies in New York. A lot of times I like to get signed myself because I don't have to give either one of them 10%. But I said, this is not going to work. This is not real business. And even if I do something on my own, I still have my entertainment attorney look over it. Mason Law Firm, y'all, look her up. Mason Law Firm, Aldoni Mason is her name. Look her up. She's on IG now, heavy. So yeah, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. And so yeah, it was just like I told him, I said, listen, thank you for the round trip. Because first they wanted me to come outside of the airport in Florida. And the guy looked just like Jermaine. He was Jermaine Jackson's son. Looked like he took 3 balls of shoe polish and had this little fake, just like Jermaine Jackson. He looked just like him. He's supposed to be the manager of the young boy who does the artist that's 18 years old, but he makes millions and millions of dollars because now they sent me some artwork. They said it was his. It's a job, but it's another model that recommended me, that referred me. And I just looked her up. When this whole Diddy thing came up, I looked her up to see was she still on Instagram, and she is. And I was calling her all types of bitches in my head because she was supposed to meet me there. So I was flying in from one place, she was flying in from another, but somehow she never came. And all she kept saying was, I'm coming later. I had to push my flight up. So I think that you knew that some of these things was going on. And I don't know how she's related in all this, but when I think about how she introduces herself to people, it kind of all makes sense to me. If you're the niece of Muhammad Ali's grandfather, aren't you related to Muhammad Ali as well? Why do you always say, I am the niece of Muhammad Ali's grandfather? So is he his grandfather because he is married? Somebody's married to him that's not related to you? Or how is this working? Because it never really made sense to me when I started sitting down and thinking about it. And you are the one that kind of referred me for this job. And this was a sham. If I didn't have my wits about me, I may not be sitting here today. Or who knows where I would be. But yeah, she's still around talking the same nonsense. I pulled her up maybe about 2.5 months ago. I said, oh, this bitch still on Instagram. But, I'm Survivor Speak. So now the account that I have from when I was modeling is a private account. It got hacked. And I saw the blessing in the hack. Because a lot of people on it was from when I was modeling. Even though my account was still private for personal reason. So now I have a personal account, it's private, but it's not that many people on it. I just use Survivor Speaks, it's public. Survivor Speaks #2 and then the letter U. But I looked on there and I'm like, oh, this bitch is still on here. She's still with this exotic bull crap. That's not, they used to call me, as a model, they used to call me the chameleon. Because I looked a whole lot of different ways. So yeah, that's what they used to call me. The chameleon. That's you? Mm-hmm. That's you? Mm-hmm. It's differences to modeling. You can be a high fashion model, you can be a commercial model, you can be a runway model. You could be a runway fashion model where you just do runway. People don't think you get paid for runway. That's how you conduct. It's all according to how you conduct your business. That models work on, in TV, like models do, a lot of different things. Um, I could do it all. So yeah, that's just what it is. Like, not to my own horn. It's just that when you tell somebody that you're dark skinned, they're not going to do this. You're not going to be able to do this, and then I wind up showing up to the set where you shooting at. Me and you shooting together. You said what? And guess what? They don't even want me with hair. They want me bald. You said what? I just made history. Nobody would be able to take it from me. I don't care who comes bald behind me. I'm the first one to do it. So yeah. When it comes to the modeling game, put some respect on my name. But I really don't even really talk about that too much because I get people that want me to come on and talk about modeling and stuff like that. I help. If people ask me, like, I used to have a lot of young girls come to me and like, oh, I want to model for real or whatever. And because I asked them, you want to be an Instagram model or you want to be a model and make real money? Because if you want to be an Instagram model, just keep doing what you're doing. You want to make real money? All right. What's your Instagram name? Sweet Pussy Pauline. I'm not going to look at your Instagram. What? I'm not looking at you unless you trying to be a you trying to be a porn star. Does your birth certificate say Sweet Pussy Pauline? Okay, so then yeah, I'm not looking. You trying to model? You trying to model for who? For brands? They're not going to take you seriously. They won't even look at your Instagram. Brands are always looking, believe it or not. Brands look at everything, believe it or not. But brands approach you. And so, yeah, that's the first thing I'll tell a model. If you're going to model, you can model. I model under my first and middle name and drop the last name. My name, my first and middle name rings like a model name. It sounds like a model name. So, yeah. But when my check came, it came in my name, my name in my last name. My credits read my name. Well, my credits read Suzette Michelle. But if I did any TV, then it would say my last name, or I was in the New Yorker and it says my name. New Yorker is a whole different type of model. History again. So in the New Yorker, I was at a show as a spectator. Showed her fashionably late in my Prada glasses. Just fashionably late. I'm here. I made it. She's here. She's here. Where's my people? And so, yeah, I ended up in there. And the lady that gave this event, oh, gosh, she does not like me. And I'm like, oh, I saw her on TV the other day. She's an older woman, but she's in a commercial. And I'm like, yes, oh, that's that. Oh, yeah, you're still out here doing it. But she don't like me because it was her event and they put her on. Oh, my goodness. They put her on the front of the article. They made her into, how they do those cartoons and they only do half lines. You could tell it's supposed to be a person. That's how they did her. I didn't believe this man. He was like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture of you? Can I take pictures? And I'm just like, I'm just not really, I'm just here, he's like, I'm going to put you in the New Yorker. I don't believe you. I didn't get paid for that either. Maybe. So yeah, I mean, you can do what you want to do. But it's nerve-wracking. I understand. I totally get when stars don't like to respond and when they smack a camera out of your hand or something like that. I totally understand. It's frightening. So imagine me, I'm somebody with no security. I just got the security of the people around me. Traveling in and out of New York 4 to 5 times a week. And people start to know who you are. And it's like they call you. You could tell that they know you from that space because they'll call you by the name you model by. Nobody else calls you by that ish. So I it's nerve wracking, especially like, I'm at an ATM and somebody's calling my name. Who the fuck? Hold up. And my brother, thank goodness he was there. I'm like, Marco, come on up. Somebody calling me. Come here. I need to let these motherfuckers know I'm not alone. Like, who? I don't know who that was. And the guy just was like, oh my God, I just love you. Oh, no. Marco, you know who I am. And he was like, oh, yeah, I know you. Yeah, but you got to understand. So, yeah, it's just like, and it's little old me. So imagine people where they are really, really out there and really, really like well known like that. It's nerve wracking. Like it started to be a lot, even like for me, it was too much. I'm not out there like that. I've done work. I've done work that's ended me up in places. I've models will walk by you every day. You won't know they're a model. Models don't dress like models every day. You will see a model and no makeup, some jeans, a t-shirt, maybe a little fashionable. You may think it's a little fashionable, pair of sneakers or something here and there. And you will see these girls, and then you see them, you will not know. I walk past, you will not know it's me. Because you're not, nobody's doing that all the time. The hell? But people still know you. And it's crazy. So I get it. I get when, you have Rihanna walking out of the courtroom just silent, like every now and then she might give you a smart something here or there. Rihanna is Rihanna, y'all. Rihanna is Rihanna in, okay? $1 billion lady, yes. She got a right to like leave me alone every time I turn around, y'all in my face asking me the same daggone questions. Leave me alone. I get it. I tell anybody, listen, a lot of us get upset because, we are always, somebody always has something to say about, us as women, our attitudes. We have attitudes. Well, we win here because you guys have attitudes. You don't know how to treat us. You don't know how to. No, some of us are just not willing to do some things that these people are willing to do. I went to an NFL draft party with Aldoni Mason. Check her out. She's on Instagram. She is an entertainment lawyer. Went to an NFL draft party. I forget who the guy was. The guy is engaged. So they have it roped off. So it's him and just one other guy that's roped off. There's some more players there. So they decided to have this little, gathering here at this location in New York. Because he talks was going on. He was the #1 draft pick this year. So we get there. He's there with his fiance. Like I said, they have like the rope around. Like you can go in and say hello to him or whatever. So you respectful. Like, this man is here with his fiance. He's young, but right now, this is his fiance. When I tell you that the Clear people was there with their daughters, the mother was there with the daughters, disrespectful, running up, just half dressed, just all inappropriate. Do y'all sit down and watch? Because I don't even know who this young man is. I'm only here because I came with Aldoni. And Marco's like, I don't want to go to that tonight. All right. So y'all sit down and watch to see who's going to be drafted for sports, and then you drag your daughters out here, and give him some tonight. Let's trap him. It was disgusting. I said, I do not believe this. I said, I heard of it, but to see it, it is crazy. The security people wind up telling them, listen, you said hello to him. He said hello to you. You're being very disrespectful. You and your mama need to back up or we're going to put you up out of here. Because this is not a place where everyone that's being drafted is. This guy, somebody else is being drafted. There was a couple more other people rented out this space because this is where he wanted to be. He's here with his fiance. You cannot keep going up to this man saying stuff to them, you and your mama. So yeah, they set this up way ahead of time. They get them when they have nothing. Oh, well, you slept with my daughter when she had, and now you got a baby by Becky. And then that's how they do it. Like, I'm just trying to, y'all reading between the lines, but that's how it goes. Yo, it's crazy. I could not believe it. But yeah, this is what they do. Yeah, and Anthony Mason, God rest his soul, wherever he is, I gave him the finger that night. Yeah, you got the whole finger, and nothing but the finger, sir. He tried to speak to me. Oh, hey, how you doing? No. Do you remember about 2-3 years ago, maybe a little longer? I'm not starstruck, but I was at a comedy club with some friends, and one of my friends spoke to him. He like, yeah. All right, so now flash forward. You don't know me from a can of paint, but you want to say hello to me. Bruh, I remember, and the same thing I told her that night, F you. Don't talk to me. I didn't like you when you played for the Knicks. How about that? I'm not here to pick up anyone. I never liked him. To me, he wasn't a great ball player anyway. I don't like the Knicks. I'm sorry. I don't know. Somebody might be a Knicks fan. I'm sorry. I don't want to piss nobody off. But I don't like them. But anyway, yeah. No, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. No. No. And what is the guy named from He Wear the Shoes? Not the short one. His name is Miss something. He was on that show on Fox 5. What was it? I never watched it. He used to wear that little bob. First he had the Caesar, not the little one, not the little short one that's built like a refrigerator. The other one. Him. I wish I would see him and he ever speak to me. I might slap him. Yeah. No, ever speak to me. Some of these people, you get on a show. He was on a successful show, but he wasn't on a successful show at the time that I met him. Well, that I saw him, because I didn't meet him, because he's nasty as hell. He's nasty. He was at the time for no reason. So I don't know how you thought I got into this party and I'm just nobody. Because everybody that was in the party was somebody. Just because you don't know who I am doesn't mean that I'm not somebody. And even though within the party, they still had a roped off spot for VIP, he was sitting right beyond the rope in the corner with his pocketbook. So I hadn't stepped into VIP yet because I had just got there. And I was arguing with Marco because he was mad because he's like, oh, these people are here. They want to interview you and you're not here. Where are you? We argued the whole way there. I'll be there in a minute. I'm almost into the city. I'm not in the city yet. Listen. And when I get there, I drove. I did not catch a path or a bus. I think you would appreciate it, sir. That when we leave, we don't have to do all that. We're driving. So I drove over. Now I need to find parking. I will be there. Those people not going nowhere. They're going to ask me about 4 or 5 questions. But because I was the face of his line, he wanted me to do an interview with them. So I get there. It was a party that Whoopi Goldberg gave her daughter when she turned 40. Her daughter turned 40. So Whoopi Goldberg gave her a party. So I get there. Is his name Miss Tracy? No, it's not. I'm gonna figure out what his name was. He was on that show. So I get in there. I do the interview out in the front. They got this little red carpet or whatever, and the party is kind of, you got to go back and around the corner. So I'm saying hello to a lot of people. I know a lot of people on the scene. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So then I stop because I'm talking to somebody when I get in the room where they have the main event that's going on. And then I saw the Google was there. Mary's sister, she's a stylist. She was there, but she was standing outside of VIP. And I just said, I don't know her. I just said hi to her. She was saying hi to everybody. But then Whoopi Goldberg's makeup artist started screaming, oh my God, you're here. And this is our interaction every time we are around each other. And I always tell her, like, stop, tonight is not the night. It is always a whole big thing. Now, Miss Terrence, that's his name, Miss Terrence. That's his name, Miss Terrence. Yes. So I had already said hi to him, and he had turned around and gave me his pocketbook and his bag. Oh, okay. I just said hello. I don't do all that, all that. I'm not starstruck. I'm, at this point, I'm around these people all the time. But even when I wasn't starstruck. Miss Terrence, that's who it was. And so here comes Karen. Oh my God. No, it isn't. It is the. And she's just going on and on, just acting freaking crazy because that's how she acts. And now he sits up like, oh, bitch, don't laugh now, bitch. I'm nobody. So now I'm going to go over here, walk over here and speak to Whoopi, okay? All right. And Whoopi was like, this is the last picture I'm taking with her. I'm not taking any more pictures. I got on these goddamn shoes. My feet hurt, and this is where it ends. I'm not taking no more pictures. So Miss Terrence was trying to get my attention all night. Miss Terrence, we already did this. I said, just hello, cordially. As I'm reading the room to see who's where and who and where people are, Miss Terrence. And I just was like, oh yeah, hello, because you were sitting right like you just made it in the room. You gave me your pocketbook and your bag. Okay, so there you go. There you go, and there you are, bitch. I'm here because guess what? Apparently I was invited, right? I'm not just here just because everybody in here is somebody. It's just some people is in this VIP area. I just ain't walk up in here yet. What? Yeah, so Miss Terrence, I won't watch shit he on. This is not what we doing, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, ma'am, ma'am. Not what we doing. So I told my friend Margaret, he was like, that bitch what? I said, don't even say nothing to his ass because Kieran ran over here doing the most as she normally does. And then he had to realize, like, wait a minute, though. Like, that lady didn't even speak to me. And she rolled up in here with Whoopi. I know she rolled up in here with Whoopi because she always with Whoopi. Whether they're on the View or not. So, be nice to everybody. You never know who people are. You never know who people know. I don't know what or who invited you here, but I think, you should know that everybody in this room is somebody and we don't all know each other. So, Miss Terrence, that's his name. I ain't want y'all to mix him up with Mr. Refrigerator. I forgot his name, the other one. Because he's nice. I party with him too. He's nice. He was very inviting. That he didn't have no other choice to be because you came out here to represent Yancey, bitch. I'm here with Yancey. Y'all might not have known who I was walking down the runway because I had on the whole mask situation. But bitch, that was me in all my greatness. Because what Marco made that night, I was like, Marco, what are we doing here? You really got me out here tonight. He like, well, the girls, because you know the girls want to see this. All right. I hope you brought me something else to change into because I'm going to be a little cold in this all night, okay? He's like, I got you, but the mask, the guy made these masks. They were awesome. Oh my goodness. And I was always the last model to close the show when Marco was giving the show. Always the last person. And it was just everything. I would be the last person to go out there and it would just be everything. But y'all know who is funny, and he was so embarrassed because I'm just as crazy as he is in real life. Michael Blackson. He know how to take me all way. So plus size model starts at a size. It is so crazy. They have changed it. Now I think they've added a little. I don't know. But before, if you were a size 8 or bigger, you were considered a plus size model. It's crazy. It's just that these designers, these designers that everybody likes to spend all their money on, when their models are on the runway, they want the clothes to look like it's on a hanger. It makes no sense to me, but that is that's fashion. That is how it is in the real world. So I'm what you call a plus size model. And so at this particular event, it was a diabetes event we were doing. And Michael Blackson came there. He came there and he volunteered his time. He volunteered his time, so I would always show up fashionably late if Marco was the designer, because I'm the only reason why he's here. And so I had got the girl that is Oprah Winfrey's double. I did a lot of work with her. I modeled with her a lot. And people don't know that she's Oprah Winfrey's double, but she's a really down to earth young lady. She's Jamaican. Her name is Trisha. And her and Whoopi, not Whoopi, Oprah, her and Oprah, they did a shoot together on a cover. And she was showing people, like, a lot of times when you see people out and you think it's me, it's not me, it's this girl. So she's plus size. Yeah, she's funny shaped in the front, but from far away, you get that Oprah. It looks like it could be Oprah. So they send her out one way. You think Oprah coming, and meanwhile Oprah going in somewhere else. She also does like cameos for Oprah, where she's standing like far off. So nobody could understand how I pulled it off and got her to come to this show. Like, cause I did I did work with her. That's why you don't make enemies, you make relationships. And this is what I try to tell people on YouTube all the time. You don't really want to make enemies. You want to make relationships. So you'll have lasting relationships, with people. Sometimes those relationships go a long way. So she came out. We got there and everybody's like, where's Marco? They were blowing my phone up like, where is he? And I'm like, we're on our way. No, he's sitting here doing what he normally does. He's sewing the rest of the line for tonight. He gets on my nerves, but that's how he works. So we get there and everybody like, oh, she's here, whatever. And like the typical models that are modeling for other people that are still really, really trying to break into the industry they're sneering and smirking, and they just used to disrespect me all the time. Jump in front of me to get to Marco, handing him comp cards and all this other crazy stuff, not knowing I'm the one that makes all the decisions, baby. He'd be like, what we doing with these? We gonna that's a garbage right there. Just toss them all in there. Now, if you're not disrespectful, then you won't be. It won't happen that way. But the way they used to try to disrespect me, and I used to let them go right on the head. Oh yeah, you're gonna just put your whole arm right. I'm gonna just let you do it because that's going in the garbage. You don't even know it. But anywho, so here go Michael Blackson is back there in the back. And so y'all remember he used to be, the little girl used to be like, do it for the vine. I ain't gonna do it. And he did it one day. Man, I had him in there and I was like, Michael, do it for the bond. He was like, I said, do it for the bond. He was like, leave me alone. I said, do it for the bond. He said, I ain't gonna do it. And he started doing it. He was like, I like her. Do y'all know this mofo went on his Instagram and put up a post and was like, I just did a show with a bunch of fat BITC agents. He said, I was surprised they didn't have any food for them to eat. I said, Michael Blackson, you. So everybody that's a plus size model is not fat. But they are, yeah. PHAT is an acronym. But everybody's not. And a lot of times they don't pick the, bigger women to do plus size modeling, which is a shame. It's crazy because everybody has a body. I mean, it's just everybody cannot be the same. There are other people that, for other health reasons, they may not be on the small. Like for me, it was always, you're so small you're small on the top, your legs are small, like I'm shapely. Like you too small to be a plus size model. Well, where the freak do I fit in at? Because at this end of the spectrum, I'm not arguing with y'all. Because listen, I didn't want to sign up for all of this anyway, so I'm not arguing with y'all. Guess what? That's not what I'm not going to do. But where am I going to fit in at then? I used to go me and my one of my agents in New York. Like we got into it, and I told her, I say, listen. A lot of these places, like they tell me I'm too small to be a plus size model. I'm confused. So every time you send me on to go see, I'm not going to go because I can like look at the company and tell by the models that they're shooting that like I'm just too small to be a plus size model for them. Some people wanted like really really big girls. It is just so crazy in the modeling industry. So, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, those are the things. Those are the highlights of modeling. I've never had a photographer that I didn't like. I never had a photographer that I did not want to work with again. I never had any of those issues when it comes to a photographer. Everybody that I worked with was professional. So I don't have anything bad to say about any of the photographers that I worked with. I've never worked with an unprofessional photographer because I was a professional model. And even when I was just starting out, I never worked with a unprofessional photographer. Dennis Rodman, you love Tahiri. Let me tell you something. Tahiri, people can say what they want to say about Tahiri. Tahiri is, she was my girl. Like, I'll tell you, like, we partied one night. It was crazy. So Michael Vick's wife's name is Kiafa. She is also very down to earth, very nice. But she be throwing that black card around, y'all. And so just this night, it was just all of us. Like, it was crazy. And it was a Yancey Edwards party. It really, really was. It was. And like I said, he brings the people out, and it got really like it wasn't crazy, nothing like people would think. Like I don't know about what they do at Diddy parties. I'm just talking about it got crazy in the way they had the bottles just flowing through there, and like Kiafa and you guys follow P Blair on Instagram, PEBLAIR. Let me write her name in the chat. Follow P Blair on Instagram. Now she is the best friend to Kiafa. Michael Vick's wife, their business partner. She actually has been living in China for I think it's going on 2 years now. and like she gives you all of the content about China, how she maneuvers through China, how she you know she actually goes to the factories and makes her product, but she's been doing this for a long time. So she moved there. um does a lot of content on Instagram, but I keep telling her she needs to come over here to YouTube because she gives real content of how she's treated as an African American woman in China. They love her over there. They love her over there. And so, and also what she does, well, if you're a subscriber of hers on Instagram, she also sometimes brings like little finds that she finds to her subscribers. And if you're somebody and you want something shipped back, she'll let you send the money and she'll ship the stuff to you. So it's like, if you're into, I remember she was doing like, if you're into like the bracelets with all the charms and all that stuff, or you're into like patches, you make jackets where you like to put like like she was doing that and showing that to her subscribers, and she was letting them know. She gives you free game about how to start certain businesses and like how to do your packaging that where it's reasonable. Like I got my hair plug from her. I used to sell hair. I just stopped. I used to dibble and dabble in anything. But let me tell you something about Chinese people when you meet them. Today I'm still friends with the guy that is my plug for that I get my hair from. His name is Nan. I can tell you his name because you never find him. But if I text Nan right now and say, Nan, I looked on the site and I see you got this type of hair, whatever, because I got a link. I'm linked directly to his inventory sheet. He will ship me the hair with my labels on it. Now he made the labels, I didn't. So it's just really like, a lot of people say things about them, but you have to broaden your horizons. Like when I forgot what happened in China. It was recent. I have reached out to him and asked him how was his family. His wife started crying on the phone. She was crying like, "Oh my goodness, thank you for asking. Like, our family is good. We're fine." Like he lives on the East Coast, but a lot of times he's like back and forth through, to China because he does sell hair. He like warehouse. He sells like, to a lot of people in Philly get their hair from him. And all that. And he's just, just awesome. But Blair is in lives in China. She's been there for a while and she's sharing her experience with you. Like she done been to Korea where they make the Nikes at. She went to Korea for, to see where they make the Nikes and stuff at, but she actually lives in China. And when she went to the Nike shop, she wasn't even living over there yet at the time. But she's always over there. Girl, she said she get a full set of nails done over there for like $7.50, design, everything. She was going to get her hair braided the other day. Something happened because she didn't get it braided. I didn't go back to look and see what happened with Blair, but follow her, y'all. If you're somebody that's into business and stuff like that, like, follow P Blair, but you have to be a subscriber. She be giving you that free game. The free game. Yeah, she does. So follow her. So to party with her, I'm telling you, it was just it was just crazy. We had a lot of fun. Tahiri is a lot of fun. And Joe Button's mother is a lot of fun too. I never met Joe Buttons, but I've met his mother a million times. She's a lot of fun too. She's partied one night. We was out partying one night. Well, I don't party anymore. But yeah, I used to when I was modeling. It goes hand in hand. So, but yeah, follow her. And that is it. I really came on about that story, but I guess we went somewhere else on a tangent. I love talking with y'all, sharing things with y'all, things that, I've done a lot of things in my life. There's a young successful model out right now. I think it was the end of my modeling career. I grew up in the project, so I grew up with her mother. Um, she saw me and she was like, I see you everywhere. Like, my daughter wants to model. And I'm like, really? All right. I said, she really wants to model for real. She said, yeah, yeah, I know you. So, what's her tag on Instagram? All right. Take her over to Marco. Take her to Marco. Let her do a couple shows with Marco. Yeah. She went over to Marco, did a couple shows with Marco. She met with major models on a Friday. On Sunday, she was a correspondent for oh my god, what is the guy's name, the designer's name? It was, oh gosh, I forget which design it'll come to me. She was a correspondent on a red carpet for a show, but she also walked for him in Paris. Friday, she went to major in New York, got signed. Sunday, she was on the runway in Paris. She walked for 3 different designers. I forget who they are now. And when I tell you, it is amazing to see when I see her in campaigns, how they have her in campaigns with her own hair. She did I saw her one day in a Ralph Lauren campaign. Her hair was just like, it was somebody that didn't know how to do color, color people's hair. And her hair comes to about right here. They had her hair combed back. I mean, and she is all posed up in all different positions with her hair like that. So I didn't even know. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought Bloomingdale's really, really went out of business. There she is on Bloomingdale's with her hair in, how everybody's getting the fake dreadlocks and they leave that little piece of curly hair out. She's in Bloomingdale's on the front page. Like, she's done so much, so now she has and I told her, and I can give you this tidbit of information. It's tiny. I'm not sure if anybody knows anybody that's considering modeling, but if you are, you really need to research the agency before you go to them. If an agency is asking you for money, that's not the place you want to be. You may have to pay for photos for your portfolio, but most agencies, you don't. They will get, but you will have to bring your own photo. So if you have somebody that's interested in modeling and they're going to go to a go see, I forgot the name of that agency. They do go sees every Tuesday morning. You need to be there on time. Is it true? I want to say, is it True Models? I want to say it's True Models in New York. You need to be there on time. I got to go back into my memory. I think it's True Models because they have plus size and non-plus size models. I think it's that True. Every Tuesday, you have to be there on time. To show up to a modeling agency to have them look at you, all you need is a black tank top. They call them wife. I don't like to call them that either anymore because it doesn't, for domestic people that suffer from domestic violence. I don't think it's a good word to call those, but those things that they call wife, and then the other word, tank top, white or black. You want a plain pair of jeans, and you want to either wear a black or a nude pump. That's it. You want to have minimal makeup. You don't want to go there with a face full of makeup. You want to look like me, like right now. I have on lip gloss. I have on lip gloss. I might have some moisturizer on my face, but my lip gloss is almost gone. I would show up to it with just this, no color, no nothing, and just a regular tank top, blue jeans, or if you really want them to see your shape, you can show up in a pair of black leggings, but you make sure you have either a nude pump, or black. That's all you need. That's it. You show up there. You may need to show up with some headshots or something like that, a full body shot. Um, some agencies still ask for Polaroids. I mean, yeah, they do have the new Polaroid cameras out, but you can just show up with that, and then they'll get your portfolio together. And if it's money to be paid for the portfolio or whatever, they will take the money out of the money. If you make money for them, then they will. I know a photographer that if you shoot with him, you are guaranteed to get in an agency. His name is Shemayim. He likes to shoot in tropical areas. He looks like a black god. That's just how I describe him. And to be in his presence is just awesomeness. Like, it's just awesome. He shoots a lot of high fashion things, but he shoots a lot of these model agencies in New York hire him to actually do their shoots for their models. So that's just the thing. If you're somebody, you have a child that's interested in modeling, the only thing I would say is that when you sign your child up, make sure you tell them that you guys come as a package. Never let your children be anywhere with anybody by themselves. I don't care what they say. That's not true. There's a young lady from New Jersey. Her name is Divine. I'm pretty sure all of you have saw her because her picture went viral again on Instagram when she was 4 years old. Her pictures continue to go viral. She was in a lot of shows that I was in, and she was a child. And believe it, her mother was always there. Her name is Davina. She's a twin. Her mother was everywhere she was. Her mother was going to be there. The backstage getting ready. Her mother backstage while she getting ready. Y'all not gonna have my daughter by herself, and that's the only way to be. You can just you want to hire my daughter. Yep, you can go ahead and hire me. My daughter wanted to do, and I took her to Disney, and they were so eager for her to come out because my daughter had a bubbly personality. But the deal with me was I just was like, nah, I'm not really feeling this. I told them, if my daughter needed to was going to be a part of anything, I need to be with her. And then now to read all the stories about how they get the children, and even though you're there, they turn the children on you and say, your mother's going to cause you to lose your contract and everything. It kind of all makes sense. I just did not feel well, even about the walkthrough when my daughter was going through Disney, they kind of like went behind a wall. They wasn't there long, but my thing was, no, I'm going to see I can see her walk out there, and then I can run out in the front and see her say what it is that you told her to say. Like 5 minutes alone with my daughter. No, I'm going to walk back here. Once she gets, behind, you can see them on the big stage. She'll say what it is that she has to say. And then, once she walks out the other end, you're there. So it was the whole thing for Disney was a no for me. They called me like, oh, your daughter, you can bring your daughter. And then they was talking about a fee and all this other stuff. And I said, listen, I'm a model myself. I'm not paying anybody anything. I don't care what you're saying you will get back. I'm not giving you any money up front. That's number one. And number two, I don't really feel too good about this anyway. So, whatever you can give whatever to somebody else. Because I'm not interested. And I'm glad because my daughter, she did a couple of, fashion shows or whatever. And she just didn't want to do it anymore. She was in a One Child magazine. She saw me doing it and she wanted to do it. And I was there to like let her try it. And she's not into that. So if you have anybody that's interested in um modeling, that's what it is. That's all that you have to show up in. You don't need, don't get them a bunch of makeup, lip gloss. Just make sure the skin is not dry. Um, and just if your child is a child, just make sure you find a way where you incorporate yourself into whatever it is that they're going to be doing, and that they will know that when you see my child coming, I'm coming with them. So and that's just all. But you do make some great connections. You make good people. You find good people. I was not feeling well the day that Fat Man Scoop died. It was my daughter had called me because I used to be at his house all the time. He always was in Germany. Because he was international, so he always was in Germany. But I had a lot of photo shoots at his house. Like I used to work with his wife a lot. They gave my daughter the name Unicorn. So it was like I was sick at the day that he passed away, but it was disheartening to see that everybody was playing. Out of all of the content you can play about Fat Man Scoop, you decide to play the minute that he's on stage. And he starts his set and then he just falls out and he's gone. And so after speaking with his ex-wife, but they still were, communicating, they were still family. Like it was very upsetting to the family that they had to go online and see that over and over and over again. And I'm just like, why not post something? He did so much. He did so much. Why not post something else of what he did? Why post the moment that he passed away? So it just was like, I wasn't doing too good that day. I was really not feeling well. Like I said, my daughters and my son called me because they just was like, oh my gosh, he died. Like, and I just was like, you just never know when it is your time, but he's definitely a legend. He's legendary. He's a legend. A legend. And so I was so glad to see all of the people that had sense that was posting pictures of him when he wasn't, not of that night of him on the stage getting ready to, go out there and do what he does. He passed away doing what he loved. And I could tell you, like, a couple of Halloweens, like, his wife is like, oh, don't bring my unicorn on trick-or-treating. Bring my unicorn here and she'll give out candy here. And, we'll make sure that she has, candy or whatever. And it was just like, and my son had a crush on his wife. I said, child, his wife don't want you. You ain't even got enough money. I don't even have enough money. She don't want you, son. Go sit down. So yeah, I mean, it is some people out here that you meet, like, and that became family, to me. Whenever, I see Shonda all over the internet doing what she does now with her young boo. I just call her. She don't answer the phone. I just send her a text message. What's going on, girl? You good? We talk. We talk about so much. I hold so many, a lot of secrets. She holds a lot of my secrets. That's just the way it is. You meet people, you want to be respectful. You want to, keep these relationships with people. You just never freaking know. You never know. And so I spent a lot of time at their house. They had a brownstone in Harlem. Beautiful. They never treated us like oh, you're here and whatever. Like I would never go there, and not be invited, but they didn't treat us like that. Like I did some of my best work with Shonda. And so, yeah, it's just like I've done a lot, y'all. Your girl has done a lot. And I truly don't miss any of it. Like they've been trying to get me out of retirement for a couple of years. I can't wear heels no more. Where we going? What we gonna do? What y'all want me to do? Roll around? Roll around? Y'all want me to roll around? Cause y'all trying to see me fall on my face. Like I can't do heels anymore. I can't wear them. I have a lot of them. I got a brand new pair of red bottoms. I want to sell them because I got them and I can't wear them. But yeah, brand new pair, can't wear them. But anywho, I had two more people that won that. You see, no one got his gift. Child Diggy and Jazzy T. Well, it wasn't. It was Mookie. Mookie, you sent me something. Mookie didn't send me his address. He said you sent me an email address. What am I gonna do with that? How am I gonna send something there? I don't send it. They send it. Even for my merch shop, I don't send any merchandise out myself. The people send it. Where I have my stuff hosted, where my website is hosted, they send it. So I to like get addresses, and then at another time I probably will do another giveaway. Maybe I will do all books. I'm not sure, but no one. I just I'll talk to you about how that read went and how you like the book and what you thought about it, and everything that I've done, because I made sure to only add in the book my journey, the things that I was able to accomplish afterwards, because I wanted to make sure the book was just about that. But anywho, thank you guys for staying here and watching. People that are still here, I'm going to get ready to get out of here and go to bed. Hopefully I'll be around tomorrow, depending on what I'm doing for the day. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't end the show by raising awareness that men can get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma associated with the word breast, we started using the term pec and or chest cancer. Let's continue to break the stigma and spread awareness. And to my lady, please make sure you are getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. And don't you dare let anyone come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next live stream video or in someone's chat over here on the YouTube streets. See you guys later. Bye. Peace.
Survivor Speaks is the name at the end of the day. People love me or hate me, I don't care either way. Breast cancer busted through like a thief in the night. The cancer's ass was knocked out before the end of the fight. A champion coming through, knocking everything out. This is hard if you see, I do nothing for clout. Just like cancer, I'll let nothing take me out. So be respectful when you step foot inside of my house. Over here to have your ass escorted on out. So hop up out the bushes, wipe your feet, take a seat, and get comfortable and chill with your girl. Survivor Speaks, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Who, what? I'm Survivor Speaks. What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you get a notification each and every